All right, we are live. It's Saturday night live stream. Get it off your chest. It's the show where you can get it off your chest. You can make a comment in the chat and talk about it. Tell us what's on your mind. And you can come on this live panel and get it off your chest. I'm going to start with me. I'm Tony Bruno. You can find me here, of course, on my channel. Subscribe, like, share, hit that button, comment, do everything you can to promote this channel. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all of them. Lifestyle Philosophies with Tony Bruno has a lot of my interviews with different people on there. Instagram, Twitter, T21 Surfer. Gonzo, let's shoot to you.
Yeah, so I'm an artist, and you can find my work, some stuff like this. This is just a charcoal drawing. I'm gonna have some. I have my shop up in a link on my Instagram. It's midnight.author, so you'll be able to find some books and some fun new stuff that I'm working on lately. So yeah, that'll be midnight.author on Instagram. I'm also midnight author on Gab and Gonzo School on YouTube, so you can check that out. But yeah, it's awesome. I'm looking forward to this.
Let's go to Frank Pesci.
Hey, what's up, guys? Frank Pesci here. You can find me on Instagram at Frank_Pesci_. I'm also on YouTube at Frank Pesci. I hope you guys enjoy the show. As always, it's an honor to be here with this wonderful panel, and we look forward to you guys joining us tonight.
And then let's go to Man.
Hey, everybody. It's great to have y'all. Glad y'all tuning in. It's going to be another fun show. You can find me on Instagram at Mantidote, like you see on the screen, just like it's spelled. Mantidote, like antidote. And also on YouTube, find me at Primal Man, Primal Man. We have a great show on Monday nights and also a few random videos we throw out every now and then. But Monday Night Man Hour is the place to be on Monday nights at 8 p.m. And that's where you can find me.
Awesome. In fact, everybody, Monday night on Primal Man, he does the same thing. You can come on the stream. You can talk about it. It's Monday Night Man Hour. We're going to play the quick little preview. Here we go. So everybody show up. Primal Man's channel, Monday Night Man Hour.
It's all about men. It's all about having a space for us to get together and just do what we do. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's about. All right, let's start. I want to quick go over our Thursday night show, just real quick. We talked about what is Mgtow. Now, I had a bunch of comments. There was a bunch of comments in there. Negative comments, and I'm going to throw this out there right now that there is no way that we are busting on Mgtow, because I would consider myself Mgtow. Okay, I think that there are we'll call them subcultures of Mgtow and subgroups of Mgtow that seem to be pretty angry. You know, you talk about, it's like looks, money, status. You'll never meet a woman. You have to go to another country. And if that's your deal, hey, good for you, man. That's my disclaimer. Hey, if Mgtow is what you need, to me, Mgtow is more along the lines of free agent lifestyle, Coach Greg Adams. To me, that's Mgtow. Living the best life as a man. I think you can be Mgtow married. I think, which that means is you're going your own way, but also means you're leading and you're doing the things that help you be a better man, whether it be in a family, in a relationship, or whatever you're in. Gonzo, you want to jump off that?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely, there's always going to be detractors. There's always going to be people who are angry and bitter. I feel like this is like with every single movement right now that you see. I mean, I can't think of a single movement without angry people in it. Especially like even the Republicans right now, or the I guess the newly independents, however you want to phrase that. But yeah, there's always going to be, and just like Dwayne says there, it's like the black pill. And definitely the black pill is very angry.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know, that's the thing. You just, my thing is you just, you know, you just speak your piece. And if people aren't happy with it, then that's fine. You know, there's no offense meant by it. People will take offense, but that's on them. That's their cross to bear. And so you just give them some compassion, you know, you don't, I'm trying to think of a word for this, but you know, you don't give them the same.
Well, you know what? We were called some words I've never heard before. You ever heard of a trad cuck? That's a new one, trad cuck. I'm like, wow, okay.
That's clever.
Well,
That's clever.
I'll smoke on that. Hang on. I'll smoke on that. There you go.
There we go.
There was another one. It said, great to be watching 3 guys jerk each other off while, how did he put this? Worrying about where other men put their dicks. And actually, it was quite the opposite. We were not worrying about where you put your dick. It's actually more like you don't put your dick anywhere is what it sounds like to me. So I think that's your problem, not our problem. And I think you need to address that. If that's your issue, then deal with yourself. Become the best version of yourself. Don't believe the horse shit that you can't meet a woman. Not everybody's going to be banging dimes, like AMS says, a 10, 9 10s. But if you're attracted to a woman and that's what makes you happy, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Don't listen to what anybody else says. So, you know, we've got 3 guys on the panel. I'm the only single guy here, but I do date, you know, but, you know, I've got 3 guys that are in relationships here. So, but man, let's shoot to you.
Yeah. Mgtow is I'll talk about.
Are you a Trump-loving asshole like your dipshit brother George? Yeah, Richard Carlson, I am. And you are fucking gone, buddy. We're going to get rid of him real quick.
He might be the one guy that needs to hear about Mgtow.
Yeah.
On somebody else's channel.
Yeah, there's always losers that going to drop in. So.
Yeah, I have a
Thanks,
I
Rich.
have sort of a 50-50 kind of thing with Mgtow, and I'll just be honest with it. Nothing wrong with guys realizing the truth about our world and what's going on in the dating marketplace at all. And I love the title, Men Going Their Own Way. You know, fine, you should go your own way. I mean, who else is, you know, what other way is there to go? And so anyway, that being said, I think it's a good place for people that have found trauma to sort of kind of be a part of for a short time. But no issues with it there. I tend to believe MGTOW to be more black pill in my eyes, and that's just my opinion. So with that being said, I don't like black pill whatsoever. I think it's a lot of guys that haven't fully realized that they need to take accountability for things, or they just want to be angry. But that's neither here nor there. That is just my opinion. So if MGTOW can be a good place for someone that has believed things that wasn't necessarily true about our world and the dating marketplace, and can actually find a lot of cold hard truths in it. So I'll pass the mic over to Frank.
Before you do, if you guys, I can't see him in the chat here, but if you can find this Richard Carlson, block that idiot, will you?
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think
Yeah.
he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah.
He took a cue. He knew to leave.
Yeah. Right there. Big L, buddy.
You know, I don't know a ton about MGTOW philosophy, but what I do understand is that a lot of men have been hurt, you know, through divorce, through custody battles, through, you know, the broken system, as it were. And, you know, I think for every action, there's a reaction. And, you know, I don't know that I could ever find myself in a place where, you know, I don't want to deal with women. I love women. I love my wife. You know, I love working with women. I understand that there are a lot of barriers. There are a lot of social contracts that exist between and social norms about how we are supposed to work together. But in reality, you know, some of my best friends, you know, over time have been women in the sense that, you know, there's no sexual tension there. You know, like we've been through things together. And, we've been able to function together because we've been able to bring two types of energy to a situation. And really, I'm speaking, in the context of business, or I'm speaking in the context of, tackling a particular challenge. And I have a couple of friends in my life that I can count on. So, I don't know that me personally that I would ever go that route, even if I got burned real bad. But, I can understand why people do it. I think a lot of it is driven by trauma, by anger, by pain. And I think that, when it gets down to it, like me personally, I'm best when I can relate to somebody on the one-on-one level. When I can spend time with somebody, personally and in a room, I can find that I can usually build pretty good rapport with that person and find the basis to revisit that relationship with a purpose. So, I try to judge everybody, on the basis of their character. There's definitely a lot of things in this world to be mad about and angry about. And, I think we do recognize that Mgtow is a real thing. And, people have created a solution for what is, unfortunately a broken system.
Yeah, there was one word that you brought up, Frank, and that's character. Character in a man is very, very important. I don't care what situation you're going through. I'll tell you guys real quick, and I know I've talked about this before, which is I had a basically a little bit of a, we'll call it discourse, communication with this guy when I commented on a Trump tweet. And he, we went back and forth, probably 10, 15 tweets each in the conversation. And at the end, there was no ad homs. There was nothing like that. It was a big black dude, and he was making some valid points, and I was making some valid points. But we never really attacked each other. And I know at the end, I said, look, I wish you and your family nothing but the best. And I was really curious of his response. And his response was, I wish the same for you. Thank you for this conversation. To me, that shows the character of this guy. He has his belief system, and I respect that. So,
amen.
Yeah.
That's how it needs to be, man. There needs to be civil discourse, or else things don't get done. If things get framed in only, one narrative or a dichotomy of narratives, then you're playing the game. You're investing in the very system that is designed to break you down. So, like you, Tony, I look for ways to how can we, reframe the conversation that could be productive.
Yeah, I mean, Ivan, I don't know if it was his quote, but he says, when the talking stops, the shooting starts. That's one of the things he says, and there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, think about that simple statement. When the talking stops, the shooting starts. So I think we experienced some of that this summer. I mean, we really did. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the other thing too, that like in order to have that class, right? In order to have that, that that ability to wish a person well after a heated conversation, you have to be able to not overreact. Mm-hmm. You have to overcome your emotions, you know? And so I think that's a key thing. If you are controlled by your emotions, so like a lot of these guys you see in the comments that we were just talking about earlier, I made a video on Mgtow that got similar sorts of things, and I just see it everywhere. I see the same sort of thing everywhere, and that's what it is. It's just this. It's this overreaction. It's this. It's like Jesse says. It's like a woman's nature. An angry man is like a woman, and it's really true because they're not thinking logically anymore. They're thinking all emotionally, and so then it's just that's what you're up against, and there's no way you're going to reason with anybody like that. And so I think men have to be, I don't want to say emotionless, but men have to have control over their emotions. And men have to be able to see their own emotions within them and resist them.
Stoicism.
Yeah. Resist that temptation.
Yeah, I think man started out with good. He loved the word, and I love the word too, men going their own way. It's not always, to me, that's not a negative connotation. It means that you're taking the role and the lead as a man. I mean, like I told you guys, the first thing that when I learned about Mgtow was that turd flinging monkey dude who is, I don't know if he's married to a sex doll, but that's his woman. And to me, that's just twisted. So to me, that's not really men going their own way. To me, men going their own way means you're taking responsibility. You're holding yourself accountable, which is going to lead me into my get it off your chest tonight is accountability. So accountability as a man, accountability as a woman. Okay. So I think everybody has to be accountable. I think politicians need to be accountable, which we don't hold any of our politicians accountable. We really don't. We vote them into office and then we just like do what you want kind of thing. So another thing I want to say is that this is the question I want to bring to you guys. Do you think that there's some groups and it is and I actually love this group because I have it. Where is it here? It is Zach Small's Fraternity of Excellence, which I think anybody, if there's a guy out there looking to really hang with other dudes, I remember when Zach gave this to me, I thought it was really cool. I'm proud to have this, but I want your guys' opinion. They hold each other accountable. Do you guys think that other men should hold you accountable? That's a question that I have. So let's start with that.
I guess what exactly does that look like? Like, what does that mean to be held accountable? Maybe that's just kind of a basic thing, but
I think it means like if you're starting a business or you're telling your group of guys, I'm just going off the cuff here. You're telling a group of guys that you're going to work out every day. You're going to here it is, English with Mr. Finn. I love that. My fraternity. I love my tribe. Yeah, those are great guys. I met a lot of guys in Fraternity of Excellence, and I can tell you that they are all stand-up guys. And Zach is a good leader, and I do want to call him a leader of a tribe because I have a lot of respect for him. But so Mr. Finn says it means to be called on your ship. Okay, so basically, let's say you're gonna get up at 4:30 every day and work out. You're going to start a business. Do you need that accountability from another man? So anybody want to shoot off that? Go for it.
I have the smoke on this for a few seconds.
I think that that a man, first of all, needs to be accountable to himself, right? And people that do great things, they do great things usually through discipline, right? Michael Jordan wasn't the best in the NBA just because of talent. He was also the best in the NBA at his time because he practiced and he was disciplined about what he did. So I think when you get down to it, first and foremost, a man should be accountable to himself. If a man can't be accountable just in his own power, he needs a boost, then he needs to be able to rely on people that he can trust. Obviously, I'm not going to ask another man to hold me accountable for my actions or for my inaction if I don't trust that man. I have to know that man, cares about me. I have to know that man doesn't have selfish interests that are involved in this. I have to know that there's a true brotherhood that's involved with holding me accountable. And I have to know that, that we're being held accountable to a standard. There's something to assimilate to. It's not just being held accountable to that man's standards, right? Like, for instance, if I'm in the military, which I did serve in the military, and I had good NCOs that I can rely on and trust, they went ahead and they set the standard. So as a young private, as a young soldier, I would make sure that at any opportunity that I would be around the NCOs that I respected the most so that I can make sure that I'm doing my job right. And if I'm not doing my job right, I know that they're going to hold me accountable, not just because they want to break my balls, but because they want to make sure that I'm a better soldier and that I'm able to, stay alive in the battlefield and keep my brothers alive around me. So same thing, I'm in the fire service now as well. So, there are leaders that I absolutely respect, in my profession. And again, if somebody's going to hold me accountable, they have to have my trust and essentially they have to have my permission, because somebody can, come up to me, hey, buddy, I'm holding you accountable. If I don't want to hear from you, fuck you. How about that? Let me get out of my face. But if I respect you and I care about you and I know that you have my best interest at heart, then, I can be humble and I can take that, take that accountability, whatever level it comes at.
Bro, that's a great breakdown, man. I agree with you 100%. You can't respect somebody. The issue is if you don't know them well enough, if they're holding you accountable, you really want to know that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You want to know that they're doing what they're saying also. And I think that's the most important thing. In other words, if, there's a lot of preachers and guys who talk a lot of shit about things, but are they holding themselves accountable also? But I agree. I think it like Coach EO says, it begins and ends with the man. And that's where that ties in. In other words,
that's right.
With yourself. I don't think anybody can hold you accountable unless you hold yourself accountable first. So, man, you want to go off that? You had time to smoke on it?
Yeah. I think people have to want to be held accountable in a sense. You can't, if someone doesn't want to be held accountable, no matter what standard that you say, hey, look here, buddy, this has to be better. You can't be acting like this. You can't be doing this. If they don't want to be held accountable in that area, they're not going to. So I think you should deal. And also, too, I like what y'all were talking about. You got to know the person that is trying to hold you accountable in a sense, because sometimes you can discern places that they may be coming from, or whether it be from people have motives, So if you know other people, you know yourself, you can discern that better. But if people aren't willing to be held accountable, no matter what you do to them, you're going to come off as a jerk to them. So I think it's best to there's I think it's a scripture that says a fool will be angered at wisdom, but a wise man will welcome instruction or like discipline or being held accountable. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't think someone can be held accountable if they don't want to. So I think you just kind of got to deal with them in some form of love and patience with people, if that makes sense.
Well said, brother.
Yeah.
Anthony's got a little comment here. I like this. Frank wins the best backdrop. Tony wins the most patriotic. Man gets the most intellectual for the bookcase.
Check it out, Tony.
Thanks, Anthony.
I guess Gonzo doesn't have much behind him right now, but now
I get the creepiest.
He wins the best V-neck T-shirt for sure.
Best. It's a flannel.
Yeah, he wins the best cozy nook.
Cozy nook. It's kind of an empty nook, but
there it is.
Gonzo
gets most newsworthy because he does Gonzo News. That's right, and that will be coming up at the top of the hour. I want to go ahead and real quick and let's I want to just recognize everybody in the chat. Of course, I put that link in there. Everybody is welcome to come on the panel, get it off your chest. Anthony Velasquez, of course, always love him. Drew, awesome. Paul Galvin, John Boston, Mr. Finn, which we had on Thursday night, which was awesome. Dwayne Hicks. Where is he? Another guy that was here soon. Richard Carlson. He's a dick, so we don't want to recognize him. Jim McIntosh. Appreciate you, man. I saw you in the last stream. Glad you're back. So Pacific Coast Piper. That's kind of a new face. Emmanuel Pinero. Thank you for joining us. Chris Tenney. Awesome, guys. Really appreciate you guys coming on. And just so you guys know, you are all welcome to click that link I put in the chat. Here it is right here. Click that link. Put your name in. You do not have to put your real name in. You can do whatever you want. But so that's the link. Gonzo wins Gonzo News. Yeah, I agree. So.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, appreciate everybody coming in tonight. Awesome. Everybody is welcome. Sure. I can have up to 10 people here, so let's get the party going.
Get it off your chest.
Yeah, get it off your chest again. So accountability. Let's talk about accountability for a woman. Okay. To me, accountability for a woman is wow. again, I'm not here to say I don't want to offend anybody, and that's for sure. I don't think we're worrying about, people getting offended doesn't bother me. I don't get offended. If you want to say something about me, that's fine. Did I get offended when Dick Carlson, was it Richard Carlson? We'll call him Dick Carlson, said something? No, I just went back at him, and I'll go back hard. I don't care. So, but the negativity is not welcome, and we'll just ban you. It's that simple. You'll be in the gulag, and that's fine. If you want to bring a rational discussion or a rational question, those are welcome. We'll debate on anything. Anything you got, we'll debate on it. So I'm going to bring in Mr. Finn real quick here. He's got a pipe. Awesome. There he is.
Welcome back.
Good to see you.
Guys, how's it going? Thank you for having me back again.
Awesome. I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you guys.
I think it's going to be a fun night. Well, Mr. Finn, we're going to hit you up with the accountable question. So I know Zach is very big on holding men accountable. So hit us up, man. Tell us what you think.
Well, I think it's important. Just like Frank said, we have to be accountable to ourselves first. And I mean, what he said is everything he said was exactly right. Men, real men, we have standards that we try to live by. We have our code of honor, code of ethics. And we live in a society. No one is an island unto themselves. So we have to be accountable to ourselves first. And that takes in part those around us in our circle, in our lives. But one of the things that I love about FOE, right, Fraternity of Excellence, is that you have a group of guys who all are seeking the same thing, excellence.
Let me hold you up real quick. Why don't you plug that for Zach?
Sure, I'd be happy to. And in fact, the doors are going to be open for 3 days next week, from the 16th to the 19th. If anyone is interested in joining a group of guys who all want to achieve excellence. I joined it after a few weeks of debating on it, because it is an investment. It isn't just a group that you go in and chill and hang out and talk. No, it's a group that you go to and you're looking for camaraderie, a group of guys that can help you achieve your goals. We all have different goals. We all want to be either financially successful, physically successful, mentally successful in our families, in our business, in our lives. So I think the only thing that can really make sure, or the only kind of person that can make sure that we are doing what we are trying to do, is other men. I mean, we're not going to go and talk to our women. I mean, we should. I mean, we don't want to not keep our women involved, but they don't understand us. Like a man understands a man, the things that we deal with and stuff. So you do want to lean on others who understand the difficulties, trials, and challenges that we face. So I'm new in the group, in that fraternity. I've been in there probably.
Let me just interject here. It's not being weak, correct?
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course it's not being weak. Yeah. But
showing real quick, it's very hard, and Coach Greg had said this, it's very, very, very difficult to another man to reach out to another man.
It is, because we suffer from pride. Our pride gets in the way, and we don't want to show weakness. And we have to understand, we're strong, but there's some areas, or an area in our life that needs work. I mean, come on, guys, all of us, there's something that we can get better in. We can do better at. And so the time I've been there, I've been loving it, been working hard. I've had drawbacks. Today was a hard day for myself with my kids and family. And it's important that we have a place, and that's important. Like I said before, we're not an island to ourselves, right? And so it's good. It's good. Like Frank said, I agree 100%. We have to be accountable for ourselves first. But who's going to keep us in check? Like we got to share this with someone. I mean, I'm in big favor of having a circle, you know, a handful of people that you can count on, that you can share with. And I have been able to find that at the Fraternity of Excellence. You know, you got a group of guys that you can count on, you can unload on, you can share difficulties, problems, and also achievements, good things that you've done. You know, so it's important. Discipline is important, but not only being accountable to yourself, but having other people make sure that you are walking that narrow path, that you're working towards the goals that you have set.
Can you give us an example of what somebody would hold you accountable for, you yourself, if you want to give that information out?
Well, as a father, my son, he's the biggest challenge. I have 2 kids, and my son he's the biggest challenge. He's 4 years old, super smart. I mean, he's bilingual. He can read already at 4, both 2 languages. But with his autism, he's in the spectrum. He's in mild, medium to light. But he's like, the stresses that he causes in the family, and sometimes it breaks my frame, and even my wife. And I really end up feeling bad about that. Like sometimes when I act out, like today, and I go to the guys in the group and I share, and sometimes they bust my balls, but in the end, they give me encouragement. They give me areas where I can work on and improve. One of the things when I joined the group, I was having difficulties in my own marriage because I don't know. I don't think I was being the rock that I needed to be. And within the first 2 or 3 weeks and sharing and working things out with the guys, I was able to put some standards in that wasn't taking on traction in the beginning. But since then, things have gotten better in my marriage. So now I'm working on other areas. And there are guys in the group that are, you could say, quote unquote, specialists in all areas: finance, fitness, mental, spirituality, things like that. So I think we as men, we need this. We need a group of men that we can count on and be counted on. You know what I mean? We can rely on, and they can rely on us as well. So it's really important for us men.
Let's jump back to holding a woman accountable. Okay, we're men here in this panel right now, of course. So as a man, as a husband, we've got married guys on the panel. Do you hold your wife accountable? Gonzo, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, it kind of goes back to, like, what exactly does that look like? What does that exactly mean? Like, I think, when I think of, like, in this situation, like, when you hold people accountable, you hold them to their word, right? You hold them to a standard. And so, yeah, I guess I have to, I have to be able to, if I'm going to lead yeah, and that's true. Actually, a lot of women do like weak, needy men. This is the fact. But in order for a man to lead the household, they have to be able to hold their woman accountable. Because if you can't hold her accountable, what are you doing? Where are you going? What's happening? And so, because you're right, it's like you're running a ship, or you're running a business, and you're directing things. You're managing everything, and so obviously, your wife has input. It's not like she doesn't have a voice, but it's there is a hierarchy, and so in order to have that, you have to be able to you have to be able to hold your, like, if you're a business owner, you have to hold your employees accountable to do their job. So that's how I would see it. Yeah.
Give somebody that's on the panel, give me an example of holding a woman accountable.
I wanted to.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Frank. All right, I'll go ahead. I'm going to take a different approach with this. From a physical standpoint, I hold myself accountable for what she does or doesn't do. In a sense, I don't say there was a time where I have said, you know what, this is this and this and this and this. Don't do this. If you do, we can do that all day long, but we have to hold I feel like I need to hold myself accountable based off of what I want in my life, what I want in a woman. And if I'm not getting that, then that falls on me, not her, in a sense. So I feel like the accountability at the end of the day falls on me. Always.
I agree.
And then I'm accountable to him upstairs.
I agree.
And I believe in submission from a woman.
I agree.
Whereas she follows your lead. So, but you're the one holding yourself accountable. Instead of trying to hold her accountable, she allows she follows your
example,
your lead, your example, your tone that you set for your family. I like to take that type of outlook on it. And I believe that's the true outlook. And that's me.
Amen, brother.
I agree. Yeah. Well, now actually, so this may be a small thing, but what is the difference between accountability and responsibility? Are we talking about the same thing?
No, I think I think responsibilities are I think accountability, I think accountability and responsibility are two very different things. I think responsibilities are things that are
you have to do.
Expected of you.
Yeah.
Where accountability is things to where you are, I'm not going to use the word judged, but you are held to a standard that you didn't meet. Let's put it that way. So.
Mm-hmm. With regard to accountability, if you're done, man, I'm going to go ahead and take the torch.
Yeah.
First of all people, men and women, are accountable to God, right? And in the scripture, it says that women submit to your husbands as unto the Father, as unto God. So, I have heard it, from other women who have been in bad marriages or have been in bad situations that, they have submitted to their husband out of reverence for God, and things worked out for them. Because at the end of the day, we're all accountable to God. And it says that, man, love your wife just as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her, which really calls for you to lay down your life, which calls for you to be sacrificial, which calls for you to step out and do the things that need to be done. Yeah. Now, if you're going to ask your wife to submit to you, first and foremost, that should come from a revelation of her relationship with the Father. And it's your job as a husband to wash your wife in the water of the word, just as Christ washes his wife, which is the bride, which is the church, in the water of the word, right? So that we may present her pure and holy and blameless, just as Christ has done for us. So, if you want success in a marriage, I have found that it really comes down to both of you being on the same page in how you approach God and how you approach your spiritual health. And when you do that, you're able to raise kids together with agreement. You're able to address situations together, disagreements, where you're accountable on high. I know me and my wife, when we first got married and we had our disagreement, just like any new couple, if we were in disagreement about a matter, we didn't proceed. That was a time for us to stop and seek counsel, whether it be from an elder, that's somebody that we trusted, or whether it be through prayer, whatever it was. We wouldn't proceed on disagreement. Over time, I became the leader of my household in so much that not only was it my God-given role to be the leader of the household, but I went out, I worked, I provided, I protected, I served my family in situations that a father and a husband are supposed to serve their family in. So I built credibility for myself. I became somebody who was trustworthy. I became somebody who was worthy to submit to. My wife can feel safe and secure in my presence, and my family can feel safe and secure in my presence because they know that I'm about my business, and my business is about my family. Everything I do at the end of the day is first and foremost about them, to make sure that they're safe, make sure that they're secure, make sure that they have a future. And then from there is to take care of my community, to have good reputation in my community, to serve my community, to make sure that my wife, when she walks down the street, she's respected, that she can hold her head high, to make sure that nobody would ever think twice to violate her, because if they do, then they're going to have to deal with me. I'm the face of the family. And when things need to be done, whether it's a contractor that needs to come here, whether it's a business, thing that's going on, whether it's anything that requires my face, I don't put it on my wife's shoulders to go ahead and handle that. I handle it. I step up to the plate. I take care of the business. And because I do that, I don't have any problems with my wife. We have a great relationship. I'm married 15 years. My wife gives me zero problems. Occasionally here and there, I'm tired. Can you make dinner? No problem. It's fine. Not a problem. We have a working relationship. But she gives me virtually no headaches at this point after 15 years. And that's because, first of all, she's a good, godly woman. I'm a good, godly man, to the best that we can be, of course. But we recognize our roles, and we're accountable to the Father. Now, in regard to accountability in terms of practicality, if my wife is acting out, I will not reward bad behavior. If she's, yelling, raising her voice, going off on something and this doesn't happen much, but, it happens every now and then, I will not come down to that level and deal with that right there. I will not respond to that energy with feminine energy. I will wait until the situation is calm, I have frame, and then I can come back and say, you were acting pretty irrational before. Let me tell you why. And by the way, that can't happen anymore. That has to stop. And, it helps actually that, I live in a house. I have 3 sons. So there's a lot of masculine energy in the house. And sometimes, if my wife is like, oh, the house isn't clean, who made this mess? My kids will be like, all right, we'll clean it up, Mom. Just calm down and relax, And it comes down to, just wanting to maintain peace in the household, not rewarding bad behavior. I'm at the point now, I don't need to, necessarily go through my wife's phone, but if I want to go through her phone, I will go through her phone. She won't stop me. She won't tell me no. She knows that. It's not a problem. And she never goes through my phone because she doesn't go through my phone. She doesn't feel like she needs to go through my phone. She can if she wants to, but it's not something she needs to do. She's never really done it, actually. But that's what makes good functional family. It's about, first and foremost, knowing your role as a man, knowing your role as a woman, and honoring God with your roles. And that makes for a good and tight family unit.
Frank, perfectly said, man. I feel like sometimes when we say we try to hold our wives accountable, we're not submitting to God. We're doing this in an ego fashion. We're like, okay, woman, you got to do what I say because I'm the man. But we're not godly men if we take that approach, I feel. So I think, like you said, things are easy. We don't have problems with women when we do it the order, God's way. But if we do it our ego way, we're gonna have problems for days.
100% right, my brother.
We're going to get perspective real quick. I'm going to bring Viv on. Viv, I'm going to bring you on, and I want you to respond to, which is how do women hold themselves accountable? So let's bring her on and welcome her. Hey, Viv.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
We can hear
That's
you.
my wife's name, by the way, is Viviana.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Welcome.
Cool. Hi guys.
Hey.
Yeah, so Anthony was like, just come on to the thing. I'm like, okay, I'll just do it. Yeah.
Cool. Glad you're here.
Yeah. I like this little thing Tony's got going on. So it's good to see you guys too.
Good to see you again, for sure.
Yeah, I've seen
Welcome
you since
in.
October. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting, like seeing you like always dressed down. And then like, because when I first met you, Tony, you were like really, really sharp at the convention and everything. It was cute.
Were you a
Anyway.
22? Were you a 22 con attendee?
Yeah, I actually volunteered there. So for the
Awesome.
first couple of days, I was the only girl there, and it was all dudes and just me. So
Awesome. Awesome. I hope you had a
that was
great
a fun
time. I heard good
It
things
was a
about
really
it.
good. It was really good. You should all go next year. It'll be fun. I'll probably end up showing up too. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. But as far as the accountability thing, I don't think a lot of women even have that as part of their thought process in the first place.
Right.
So a lot of women really are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. In my case, on the topic of godly men and that kind of thing, I was Muslim for 15 years. So the idea of being held accountable has a completely different meaning in religious context than it does among Christian circles. So it's been an interesting sort of like adjustment trying to reconcile that. So I will say that.
So you converted from Islam to Christianity?
I was actually raised in a semi-Christian household. When my parents divorced, my mom stopped going to church, so whatever. But I've always been a fairly religious person. So.
Right on.
Oh,
Were
I
you
didn't
married
do
to?
anything.
Were you married to a Muslim man?
Was I? I tried, but it's complicated. There was a very large Arab community in my hometown, and they are extremely racist. So, yeah, it didn't really come to that. But
it's complicated. Just so
it's
you know,
very complicated.
That's a
It's
dating
true.
thing. You guys have seen that, like in a relationship, or it's complicated. Which
No, but she's right, man. I did some missions work in North Africa. It is so true. People are like, yeah, the United States is full of racist people. Go to North Africa and see how those in North Africa treat those that are from Nigeria. It is crazy.
It's not even. There is no racism in America. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, how do you feel about a woman in terms of being held accountable? Like, if you're in a good marriage or if you're in a good relationship with a man, how do you feel is his proper role to hold you accountable?
I just think it's about clarity of communication. You can want specific things from a person, and you may have a list of things that you want from a person, but if you're all over the place with how you are communicating that it becomes like, okay, there's no way to meet every single one of these demands. And then if you don't take into account where somebody already is and what their capability is in meeting those demands, it turns into a cluster pluck of frustration. Because I'm a woman. All women have this thing, you want to please. It's not a people pleasing thing. It's not a pathological thing. It's just it's an innate drive within women. Like you want to make a guy happy because that makes you happy to see him happy because what you did. Oh, that's nice. The red pill always talks about, women are human beings, but men are human doings. But women are very focused on, the things that I do should make my man happy, and if you're not making him happy, then what are you doing? So if you are not being clear in your communication and not being how do I want to put it, not being communicative when things are going right and only focused on when things are going wrong, well, it's gonna get all messed up. And I don't think religion has anything to do with that, honestly.
Well said, sister, for sure. For sure. That's 100% right. I could tell you as a man, my main focus is to provide and protect, right? And if I fail in any one of those innate, desires or callings, man, my heart would be ripped out and from me, and I would have to fix that right away. I'm not the kind of person that could go and just walk away with my head down for the rest of my life. So I definitely identify with what you're saying in terms of having that innate desire to want to please because it makes you feel fulfilled.
Right. So it's more of and people don't always get things right off the bat. That's not a realistic expectation. Like I would always think, okay, you've got a certain amount of time. No matter how you do it, there's people, you get married in the first 2 weeks. I've known people who have done that and they've been married for decades, and people who've done that and they failed miserably. Or, you take 10 years before you get married, whatever, but you always have that adjustment period where you're learning about each other.
For sure.
And that's never a fairy tale, happily ever after, easy peasy type of deal. You know what I mean? I have never been of the mentality that relationships are supposed to be easy. They're work.
Everything's work.
That's right.
Everything's work, period.
I want to welcome Anthony, the Vegan Manifesto, Velasquez.
And that vegan stream was crazy. The guy said that every day, like, what is it? The equivalent of every animal that's ever lived on the face of the planet is killed. Like, there's no mathematical there's no mathematical way that could be true. Like, everything would be dead.
Every 3 months, more animals are killed than human beings on the earth, is what I think.
So, every 3 days, we're killing 8 billion animals?
Yeah,
there aren't even that many animals.
That's crazy.
Are we counting insects? Are we counting worms in that?
Exactly.
How many spiders?
Well,
how many spiders does the average vegan swallow in a year? The same amount as everybody else, so they're still eating meat. You can't escape it.
I'm making me hungry right now. So, but Anthony, I want to go to Anthony Velasquez on accountability as a man.
Manifesto. That's great.
You're just
You know, as a vegan, you got to be accountable because, like you say, you could just open your mouth, and how many gnats or something could you be eating?
I love this guy.
It's crazy. I mean, I know myself. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of eating a lot of. Sometimes I'll ask for a soy burger, and they just give me a regular one because they don't really have any. And I paid for the soy burger, and I was like, wow, that's the greatest soy burger I ever had. And he goes, why? Well, it tastes like meat. He goes, well, it actually was meat, dude. Like, oh shit, dude, I just killed a cow, man. You know, yeah, it's getting bad.
Here's the funny thing, though, guys. If you actually read the ingredients list on things like McDonald's, hamburgers, Burger King, fast food, it's all soy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
So technically, you're still eating vegan meat.
unless you go to Wendy's.
Yes, true.
Dr. Shawn
or Culver's.
goes to Wendy's and orders just patties.
Go to Culver's.
Pure meat?
Yeah, pure meat. Fresh,
Wow.
too, frozen. Yeah.
Well, guys, I just want to say, at least right now, I'm drinking a vegan beer. So I just want you to know that.
I don't think there was any meat involved in my beer here. I think it's oats
No
and
animals have
barley
been harmed during
hops.
this thing.
Just so you know, we have Anthony comes on frequently, and he he has different personas when he comes on, and tonight he is Anthony the vegan.
Yeah,
Anthony, be on the lookout for flies in your beer.
Yeah. No, 2 weeks ago I was converted. The guy just like his arguments were so straight up. I just said, you know what?
Well, look,
You know what?
look, guys, we got a great comment. We got a great comment from the vegan debate, and you guys, this is an inside joke. Brandon remembers this. He says, "Cherry pick my balls, Dallas." Awesome. What's up, fellas? Excuse my language, man. Inside joke. We know exactly what you're talking about.
That was the greatest comment. That gets like comment of the year.
He said cherry pick these nuts.
I'm sorry.
Brandon,
Brandon,
if you're gonna remind us of your comment, make sure you leave it like you left it in that last stream. So remind everybody exactly what the comment was.
Brandon, that's great, man. What a great comment. That I will give the comment of the night for sure. So also too, I want to tell everybody who's in the live stream, if you comment on this video tonight, when I say comment in the comment section of the video, I'm going to do a giveaway. And the giveaway is going to be for I guess it could be for a woman too, but it's a nice brand new Brio nose and ear trimmer. You got to be in the lower 48. The best comment about this, I will send this to you. I'm also going to send you some. It's some mustache wax. This is neutral. You're going to get that, and you're going to get some tactical soap. So we got a giveaway tonight. Tacticalsoap.com. Use my coupon code KING. You get 10% off. There's a link in the description of this video. So best comment in the comment section of this video is going to get that little package. Again, brand new in the box. Brio nose and ear trimmer. Brand new. Obviously brand new. You wouldn't want a used one, right? And mustache wax and some tactical soap. So best comment. If you're watching this later, I want a good comment about that. Why you need it. Why you want it. Lower 48, you're getting it. So
That's vegan, right?
yes, it is. It is
No animals were harmed.
Hey, no. I don't think it's vegan, right? Because it was made in a factory. Factories use conventional energy sources. Vegans technically shouldn't be driving cars or anything, right? Because all fossil fuels are made from animal products. But I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
And what about plastic? Isn't plastic made out of like dead dinosaurs? So
Yeah, it's made out of petroleum, right?
yeah,
Petrol.
petrol.
Jerry puts these nuts. Primal man. Love it, bro.
Oh,
I love
man.
checking this up. Great stuff keeps me holding frame like CGA. I agree, man. I agree. Tactical soap is awesome. I'm lucky enough to give out samples to people. Scott Carr is awesome, great friend of mine, obviously a sponsor of this show. So order your tactical soap. Coupon code KING, get 10% off. Where is Michael Bunker? Well,
Yeah.
Michael Bunker might be coming on. He actually sent me a text. So Michael Bunker might be here tonight. So we'll Michael Bunker, if you're watching, I know I believe it's date night for him, but I think if he gets home early, he's going to join us. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah, Michael Bunker is awesome. So
How do you do date night in whatever state he's in? I mean,
well, he's in Texas.
yeah, but
Well,
he doesn't
apparently-
have electricity, right? He doesn't do any of that stuff.
No, I don't know.
Well,
We're in
I go-
Florida. I have no clue. Florida is wide open. Wide
Is
open.
everybody here is everybody from Florida on
No,
the panel?
we've got Gonzo is in Texas. Man is in Louisiana. Mr. Finn is in Brazil. Frank is in Arkansas, correct?
Wow.
And then
Missouri.
I'm sorry, Frank?
Missouri.
Missouri, sorry. And then Anthony, the Vegan Manifesto, of course, is in California. So we are everywhere tonight. Yeah. Yeah. And look at
Cool.
that. Look at this. We got another comment here. Is Anthony has the most vegan backdrop with all the lush vegetation. Andy has a ladder.
He's got an escape route. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a ladder. Could we see the ladder? Because the ladder is very, very important, Anthony.
I like
He's
the
very
ladder.
patriotic last time.
Yeah.
It looks like Finn has a ladder too.
No, he has an American flag ladder.
But
Yeah.
on the other side, isn't that a ladder?
He's got
No,
a
there's no
ladder to
ladder here.
liberty.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it. That's
The ladder to
the
liberty.
progression, the progression of flags that we've had.
I love
I
that,
can't
by the
really
way.
see. I don't have my contacts in. I can't see anything.
Well, I want to.
This year is all the flags that we've ever had as Americans, from the very first 1777
Nice.
all the way to the recent one here.
I think you
Cool.
get the most patriotic then. Yeah, Finn's the most patriotic background.
I may be in Brazil, man, but I gotta represent. I'm still an American. I come from California too, originally.
Wow.
The topic tonight of every Saturday night is get it off your chest. I'm going to ask the whole panel. We have 7 people live tonight. Does anybody have anything they want to get off their chest? Jump on it. Gonzo, I know you.
How to fix abortion?
Oh,
You
I don't
can't.
think-
Wow, that's a deep.
You'd have to take away birth control. You'd have to unequivocally remove birth control from the equation 100% top down.
I mean, but why? I mean, but birth control stops the egg from being fertilized, so that's technically not abortion, right?
Well, the problem is that there is no such thing as 100% effective birth control.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can even get pregnant with an IUD. And birth control gives women a false sense of security. And with that false sense of security comes irresponsible behavior. And with irresponsible behavior comes promiscuous sex. And with promiscuous sex comes unplanned pregnancy.
Yeah, culture has really promoted this promiscuous sex. That's for sure. No accountability there, right?
All right.
Right.
Well,
Either that or men would have to, across the board, say, we are going monk mode.
That's not going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
I mean,
Let
but
me
you
ask
think
you a
about it.
How long has birth control in pill form been around?
Since, like, what? They invented
50
it
years?
probably in the 40s and were
Yeah,
able
40,
to
50
release it
years.
to the public in the 50s and 60s. And since the sexual revolution, I mean, quite honestly, if you're going to take the pill, most people aren't responsible enough. You have to take the pill every single day at the same time. And most women that I know that are on just the pill, they can't do that. They don't have the
But
discipline.
you know what's
to do
interesting?
that.
You know what's interesting, right, Viv? I want to throw this out there. You say that we men have to go in monk mode. Technically, that's not accurate because women have the power. You know, because men, I mean, we're in our core, we're attracted to lots of different things, and women are the ones that choose. Hey, you know, come on, I'll give it up. So, I mean, I think there just needs to be a whole kind of education all the way around with this because.
Well, I think to tie it back to you got something, man.
No, much love, Tony. 513. Much love.
Oh, okay.
Just wanted to say hello.
yeah, Tony 513, man, brother. Yeah, you are welcome to join the panel. We always love you. Love you
Tony's
on.
amazing.
Yeah,
He's
definitely
like the
amazing.
Bob Ross of pipes.
Yeah.
Brothers of the Briar.
I want to go back to this real quick. Is Carly says no one has answered how to keep us accountable.
I'd answered it.
Yeah, I think I was going to say Frank
did well.
Great job. I think that for like Frank, I don't know if I want to paraphrase Frank, but I think as a leader, I think am I saying this right, Frank? That as a leader, how do I put this? As a leader, it's basically, Frank, just paraphrase yourself.
You know, people are not going to be accountable to anybody unless they view that person as being worthy to be accountable to. There has to be trust that's created, and there has to be a culture or something bigger to assimilate to. So whether it be you're in the military and you have to assimilate to the military standards, then it's very easy to be accountable. There's a system of consequences that will come about if you're not accountable to the system of assimilation. Same thing in a marriage.
Is the military really a good example though? Because there's a lot of women in the military and there are co-ed dorms and there is a lot of cheating and promiscuous sex and all that stuff. So, I mean, when it comes to the dynamics between men and women, there is no accountability there. Maybe you might get in trouble if you slept with the officer that like outranked you or something.
Yeah, but I think
when it's
he's
just
talking about accountability as far as hierarchy goes. And
waking up at the same time every day, being on a certain fitness regimen, showing up at some place on time.
I don't know if you were here, Viv, when I talked about accountability among men. And what I said is accountability among men is that men will only be accountable to another man if they can trust another man. If they believe that another man is worthy enough or has demonstrated that they care enough about that man, or they demonstrated that they're able to keep to the standard. And I used the example of my time in the military where I said there were some NCOs, non-commissioned officers, sergeants that I held in high regard. And as a young private and as a young soldier, I would basically do anything I could to be around those guys to say, hey, am I doing my job right? And if I'm not, I trust you to tell me that I'm not doing it right and how can I do it better? Because my job not only relies on keeping me safe in the field, but it relies on me keeping my buddies safe in the field as well. So I meant it totally in the context of, you find people that you find competent, that you find trustworthy, that you know that they have your best interest at heart, and that there's a system to assimilate to. When I talked about accountability in a marriage, for my marriage, the accountability system for us was always godliness. Was what does God tell us according to the scriptures how we should live our marriage? And that doesn't mean that we're perfect or that we're saints or anything like that. But we did recognize and respect God's order of things. And over time, we found people that we trusted, and we seeked after God together, and we were able to find that there was a system that we were both comfortable with that we can assimilate to. And within that framework and within that system, I was able to become a credible leader in my household who was trustworthy, who looked out for my wife's best interest, and who was reliable within the framework of my role. Therefore, my wife it was very easy for her to say, okay, I want to live to, I want to live to be accountable, or I want to live to please God. And I'm comfortable doing it within the framework that the scriptures lay out for us, because you have done what you have needed to do. Now, if I was a drug addict, heroin addict, junkie, cheating on my wife, running around in the streets, how could I reasonably ask my wife to submit to me out of ego? It would never work. I would have to first demonstrate that I'm willing to be held accountable to the same standards that I have set forth. And in terms of, how do we hold women accountable? Like I said, really for me, and I'm married 15 years, so, I've gone through seasons of this. Different seasons have called for different, engagement, but essentially not rewarding bad behavior. If I notice that my wife is in a hyper state, or she's, kind of, like that, I'm like, we'll revisit this when things are calm, when the winds have calmed down, we'll revisit this. And then I'll come back to it whereby we can create a low emotional environment and talk about it and be productive. So, that has worked for me. I'm not saying that needs to work for everybody. It has worked in my situation. And again, in terms of holding accountable, look, we have an understanding. If, like, my wife, she doesn't have male friends. Mm-hmm. From the beginning, my wife can't have male friends. If she has male friends, then that's going to create in me a thought process that's going to say, I can't trust this woman. So I would have never married her in that case, if that was what it was. And I did a good job at the beginning of saying, hey, look, these are my expectations. If you can live up to these expectations, then you and I can get engaged, and then you and I can eventually get married. If these expectations are unrealistic for you, then, that's fine too. I respect your ability to make your own decisions, but we're not getting married. I'm not going to sign on the dotted line and take vows with you. So again, in terms of holding accountable, it's the man's job to set standards in his home, to be the provider, the protector, to be that credible leader, and to set the culture. Does that mean I make mistakes? I do make mistakes. I absolutely make mistakes. Do I make less mistakes now than I made before? Absolutely. I'm a lot better at doing my job now than I was before. And, my wife I don't ask my wife to submit to me out of ego. It's not about that. It's what works. It's the formula that God has created. Yeah. And, I don't take advantage of that either. You know what I mean? Like, where are you going? What are you doing? Who are you talking to? I don't need to be like that. You know what I mean? But if I walk into the room and I hear a conversation, let's say, because my wife talks to a lot of clients, and I say, hey, who are you talking to? Oh, yeah, I was talking to so-and-so. All right, cool. How'd that go? You know what I mean? It's never like, why are you asking me? You don't trust me? Like, it's not like that anymore. It was like that at the very beginning. And it hasn't been like that in a long time.
It's a phase. See, and this is what people have this expectation, even if it's unconscious, that relationships are supposed to be easy. And then when those kind of things happen, you have those conversations. Who are you talking to? Well, why are you asking me? What business is it of yours? Working out those boundaries. Like, what are appropriate interactions to be for either party to be having with the opposite gender, and what is not? Those are things that you have to iron out over time. Like, for me, I'm not a jealous person in general. Like, I really don't care. Like, if I was walking down the street with someone I was dating and they looked at another chick, I'd be like, meh, whatever. I mean, I'm the one that you're walking with, so I mean, whatever. Look at her. I don't care. I might even look and be like, yeah, okay, I can see where you're looking. Let's keep moving. I don't care. Now, if she tried to move in, then I would handle it. But, you know, I'm not generally the jealous type. But I understand why men are the way they are with those kind of things. I think that in my case, I always regulate myself. So there are boundaries that I have that I hold myself accountable to, and lines that I don't cross for my own well-being. And people who meet me and don't know me, they're like, oh, you have a very commanding presence about you. And they do read it as masculine, but really it's me holding my own space.
You know, let's just say this, Viv, and I respect your comments, and I can tell that you do hold frame well. You know, people misconstrue men being territorial with being jealous, right? If you know, my wife, from like I said from the beginning, when we were first dating, I was like, look, these are my expectations. If you want to date me and you want this to go anywhere, then, you know, I have to be the center of your universe, as it were. I don't want you to have male friends and this and that. And she was okay with that. And we were able to go ahead from there. I never left it in her hands to say, okay, you have male friends, and do me a favor, don't cross the line. You know, don't piss me off, and we'll be good. It was never like that. It was like, hey, this is what it is. If you're good with that, I promise you, I'm gonna make your life better. I'm gonna do everything that I'm supposed to do. But I'm telling you right now, if you do this, then we have no contract anymore. We have no deal. So from the very beginning, that's what it was.
This conversation.
I may have to log out here pretty quick here, guys, just to let you know. So if I black out here, I left. Anyway, okay. I dig what you're saying.
I want to say something really quick, Viv. This conversation is rocking and rolling, Frank. You are bam, 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 bro. I got to give it to you. I love it. I wanted to throw it out there, too, that a lot of these young men are being raised by single moms. And when they go to school, they're being taught by teachers. The young men of our world is being taught to appease the feminine nature, the feminine imperative. You know, it's all about please the woman. So we never understand that when a woman tells us it's okay for me to have guy friends, there's something in our gut, in our hearts that said we're not cool with that. But then something in the back of our brain says, I gotta be okay with that, or I'm jealous, right? That's what my mom told me. That's what my teachers told me, and my girlfriends I had told me. So something must be wrong with me for me to feel jealous about. Okay, yeah, sure, girlfriend, you can have all the guy friends you want. I gotta be okay with this. When in reality, that's the worst way to go about it. So that's what's going on with our young men today.
That is what's called an orbiter. I mean, let's get real. That is an orbiter.
Yeah,
fuck that is a female feminine, and fuck that is right. Speaking of holding accountable, we are going to hold Christopher Rodmacher from Germany. We're going to hold him accountable.
Shave that head, man.
Yeah. Oh, we'd love to see it. Bust it out. Yeah. Where is it here? Anthony says Tony513 said I'd pay to see that. Here's a quick question. And again, if he wants to come on and shave his head, Raj, I'm going to bring you in. I see Raj from the other night. I'm going to bring you in shortly. So just chill, and I will bring you in. Where is it? Anyone here with a history of substance abuse, alcohol, anything?
Yes.
And, okay, we got one guy. I'm going to say myself, actually, no. I've never been I've never had an addictive personality. In other words, I don't think that, I'm smoking a pipe tonight. I smoke it once Saturday nights. That's it. So,
why do you ask, Brandon? I'm curious.
Yeah.
I thank God, man. I used to do a shit ton of cocaine, man, back in the day. I used to run with guys, man, from Throgs Neck in the Bronx. We used to get cocaine. We used to call it the Parmesan, man. It was freaking rocks blow like this. It looked like Parmesan cheese. It was amazing. And I will tell you, before 9/11, the cocaine that was coming into New York City was a lot better than the cocaine that was coming in after 9/11. But you know what? I made a decision as a young man, 23, 24, 25, something like that. I said, I got to stop because this is ruining my mind. And I really can't be in a position where I'm not sober because God has put gifts in me that are that are towards business, that are towards family, that are towards mentoring, that are towards ministry. And if I'm going to live this life where I'm, running into the bathroom during business meetings to hit up a 20 bag of blow, I'm going nowhere. So, probably from 14 to like 25, I was into it, man. I was like, this is where it's at. Nobody knows but me, and I sought out the people around me, that were into that lifestyle and made it happen. But, I thank God, I'm 36 now. I haven't had any addictions for, the last 11, 12 years. And I consider it a blessing to have escaped the mighty hand of addiction when it was all too easy. Life is so much better when you're sober. And to be honest, I can enjoy a drink. This is the first drink I've had all week. And it's nice to sit here and have a drink and to puff on a pipe. I haven't smoked on a pipe in 2 months. But I'm sitting here. I'm smoking on a specific blend. I'm surprised nobody's asked me. This is called George Washington's Light Infantry. This is what they believe was the blend that Washington's infantry smoked during the Revolution. So
Nice.
it's real cool.
So
But Brandon, I just want to say real quick, Tony, Brandon, I wish you well in recovery, man. Just know that life is better on the other side. And as you probably know, or else you wouldn't be in recovery, man, and you can do it. It will be a long memory soon enough where you're like, yeah, those were the days, but I'm on to bigger and better things.
Good, man.
Brandon, I am so glad that you are reaching out to us. You are in recovery, like you say, and nothing but the best to you, brother. So stay strong. That's what's important. So got a lot of comments going off here. October 2nd, 2017. Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Good job.
Awesome, bro.
Good job. Yeah, I've never had a drinking problem, although in my family there's a history of it. The leader of my fraternity, he's been sober now, going on I think over 200 days. So that's really good on you. I used to be a pothead. And the funny thing is, marijuana, it's a downer, right? It makes people lazy and stuff. I used to self-medicate. I'm a high running machine. I used to smoke to kind of self-medicate and to be able to focus on one thing at a time. And it wasn't until about, I think, 2 or 3 years after coming to Christ that I gave it up. I remember the day it happened, I was kind of sharing with somebody, and because the reason why I used to get high was to kind of self-medicate, to help me focus. I was I was working all day, I had a family, going to college, and I would get high to just help me focus. And I gave it up after a day of sharing my testimony, talking with people, and I kind of felt a peace in me that I used to get high to get that peace. And until today, from that day on until today, I've been clean. And nowadays I've been just smoking on a tobacco pipe or a cigar every now and then. And the interesting about this, right? Majority of people, those of us who smoke this, we don't inhale. It's puffing. It's tasting it. It's the habit of smoking it. And I love it. It's very zen. It's very relaxing. I think people confuse it, right? Because we look at people who smoke cigarettes, people get high, and they look at people who smoke pipes and cigars like, oh, it's the same addiction. It's not. People who smoke pipes or cigars, and I think, those of us, man, Tony, those of us who do this understand we only do this if we have time to do it. Like if we have a good 2 hours to sit aside and puff it. It's not like, I need to smoke. I need to go smoke. I remember when I used to smoke cigarettes, man. You need a smoke break, like after you eat, after you have coffee and breakfast, after sex. I'm gonna have a smoke. You outside, it's 5 minutes, have a smoke. But smoking a pipe, smoking a cigar, you light this up if you know you have a good 2 hours to enjoy it, to appreciate it. And so, good on you, Brandon, and anyone else who's in recovery. If you're having difficulties, find someone that can help you, someone who's been there, someone who can relate.
I mean, just look at a guy. Just look at a guy that smokes a cigar or a pipe, right? Look at a guy that smokes a cigarette.
Right.
We got
that's it
right now, Tony 513. Tony, welcome.
Hey, Tony, good to
Tony.
see you. For the first
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing? All right, man. Yeah, just firing up
Great
the
stuff.
pipe.
We got the chillest guy on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
The coolest guy on YouTube.
Does he have a pipe
Yeah.
channel?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, go to Tony. I got to tell you something, man. You need to do more live streams, and you need to leave them up because I would go back to them. They are just a whole lot of fun. I told you I stopped watching Tucker Carlson for you. I'm like, Tony's long. I'm gonna watch Tony. I'm going to watch Tony instead of Tucker. That's for sure.
You're awesome, man.
Yeah, great live streams. They really are. They're really chill, a lot of fun, good music. But Tony, why don't you tell everybody real quick how they can find you?
Yeah, I'm actually on here on YouTube, just under Tony513. You can also find me. I'm on Rumble as well, under the same name, Tony513. So, in the About section of my YouTube channel, my email address is in there, so anybody can feel free to reach out anytime, night or day. If you got to get something off your chest, you want to have somebody to talk to that will listen and not judge you or criticize you. Anytime, man. I want my ears open and talk about whatever, or we just smoke a pipe together for that matter.
That's cool, man. I like
because
that.
I like what you said, not
Right
judge you, not criticize you, but I know on my channel we will not really criticize you, but we will debate you. That's for sure. We won't judge you, but we will debate you. So anybody wants to come on and debate anything, we've got a full panel of guys. We got Anthony Velasquez. I just got to put this up here. Where are all the vegans? I don't know tonight.
Where are
They're out grazing on grass.
Hey, they're sleeping, man. They don't have the energy to keep up, without their supplements or anything.
Yeah, they're on the cow pastures grazing.
I had a feeling about tonight, guys, and my feeling was correct.
all the lonely vegans?
Maybe they have this weird connection with cows because they both eat grass.
Oh, man, that's funny.
I will say though, Galaxy was a great debater. Though he was, although misinformed, he was good.
He was the king.
Yeah,
of
he
comments.
was. He was absolutely the master of baiters, for sure. Yeah.
Master. of
Actually,
haters.
a lot of respect to Galaxy Universe. He really was. That show was fire. It really,
If that dude came red pill, forget about it. He would replace everybody. He'd freaking
Exactly. that was a classic. That was a classic stream. So anybody watching, go back a few weeks, and in fact, I put a carnivore vegan debate. It's its own video, so check that out. But I'm going to give him a lot of credit because he hung in there. So,
It's a great show.
Yeah, but
well, you know what's interesting, Tony. You know what's interesting. The good thing about that and Galaxy there is that you standing to your values, to your convictions, and that's what's important, right? You talk about men, you talk about what we stand for. We don't have to agree with everybody, but to stand on what you believe in, that's what's important, right? To stand for something and to represent, you got to give credit, and good job on that. That's great.
One of my favorite quotes is that I say is, I do not believe in when somebody says we can agree to disagree. For some reason that irritates me beyond. We can just disagree, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Agree. Okay.
I put it in the comments in quotations because that comes from Dennis Prager, who I like a lot. clarity over agreement. We don't have to agree, but as long as you're clear on what you stand for, what you represent, what your argument is, that's what's important. Because what we talked about right on Thursday, my first time being with you guys here, so many people catch themselves on these movements, these things that they feel like they believe. There's people that they like and that they believe, but they don't have a strong foundation to go off of. They don't have that conviction, right? Because they haven't thought deeply enough about it. So, Galaxy and anybody else, that's okay. We don't have to agree. Cool. But as long as you're able to articulate and explain, this is what I believe and why I believe it. Okay, great. I may have disagreeing opinions. I may have a different point of view. All right, cool. We don't have to agree. But I love what Tony's doing here, because I think this idea of civil discourse is just disappearing, because people are being so offended and they get so upset, and then it resorts to name calling and diminishing the person, diminishing the character, and that like ends the argument, that ends the conversation right there. So props to you, Tony, and everybody else. That's good. Okay, good. We don't agree with Galaxy, fine, but at least he came and he represented. He stood on the ground. He stood on the hill he's willing to die on, and that's what's important. Clarity over agreement. I love what Dennis Prager said. Clarity over agreement. He knew what he was talking about. He believed what he was talking about, and that's great. Okay, I don't agree with it, but fine. Let's smoke on it.
Yeah, agreement is a poison, man. Everybody having to agree is a poison, especially when it comes from the mainstream news narrative.
It's being forced on us nowadays. It's being forced on us.
Yeah,
it is. Agree. They want unity, right? "Quote unquote" unity, but unity comes with agreement. I'm sorry. I'm willing to accept things. Not some things are okay. I can live with it, but some things I won't accept. And then because you won't accept it, you're being ostracized. You're being exiled. You're being "quote unquote" canceled, right? And I think that is the danger, and it breaks my heart, right? I mean, you got Tony there with his flags. You got me with my flags. I mean, America represents something. You got people from different backgrounds, different beliefs, but we come together and assimilate as Americans, because what is it to be an American? You represent freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to express yourself. So, anyways, I'll leave it at that. Let's smoke on it.
That's great. I love that breakdown, man. That's, being able to talk something out is so important. Again, that's why this stream is get it off your chest. So anybody is welcome to comment. Anybody is welcome to come on the live stream and get something off your chest. I would appreciate if you didn't have an avatar, but you are welcome to come on with an avatar. To me, I don't know about you guys, but when I see an avatar, it kind of...
What are you hiding? What are you hiding?
Yeah, it does. It kills the credibility. Now, I do understand why certain people are avatars, whether it be on Twitter, but you have to understand that your comment is not taken as serious as somebody who is showing their face. But I do understand that people have a livelihood, a job that they don't want to lose, but they still want to make their point and make their voice heard, which I think is important no matter what. So anybody else want to go off that?
Yeah, some people also are just scanning the internet and they find, these streams and they jump in. Like one guy that joins us all the time,
JC.
JC is awesome. I love when that guy joins us.
Yeah.
I wish he would show his face. I have a mental picture of what he looks like, but
so do I. Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? But who knows? Hopefully, this speaks to him, and one of these days he'll show us what he looks like.
Yeah, I think that's and there's a reason. I get it, but I do believe that he is very much in line with what we talk about. I don't think he is a manosphere dude or somebody that's familiar with it, but I think he's naturally masculine, and I think he
squared away.
Some incredible value to add to every conversation. I absolutely loved it when he went after Galaxy pretty hard.
Yeah. He was great.
That was classic. It was classic, and it's right in the beginning too. And he went right after him, no problem. I think he would do that with a face or without a face. But very educated guy. I think like Paul Galvin, awesome too, always on the panel. Just in fact, Paul, if you're watching, of course, you're always welcome. But again, an avatar is something that I think some guys will use and have to use, but I also think some guys use it as a mask or just a filter, basically. But understand that when you do have an avatar, whether it be on Twitter or YouTube or anything, that people, unless you've been known and your credibility, like JC, he has credibility on this stream, 100%. 100%. So unless you've built that credibility as an avatar, I don't think that people take you seriously. So I think if you do have an avatar and you build your credibility, that's great. If you don't, if you're just spouting off crap on Twitter or YouTube or something like that, well, that's different. So, but I'm gonna bring on Brandon. We're gonna bring on Brandon.
Come on in, Brandon.
Yeah. There he is.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, man, welcome.
What's up, buddy?
Well, I
Brandon.
just got my son to sleep. I figured I'd come down in the garage and bullshit with you guys for a little bit.
Awesome.
Right on.
Awesome. Appreciate you coming in here, man. And were you on here one night, I think? Yes? No?
Well, I've been watching for a while. I think the first one that I watched, the live stream, actually was a few months ago, but I tune in as much as I can,
Okay, good for you. First
Where are you
time
from?
live stream, though, so.
Yeah, first time I've been on the show, actually. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Where are you from, Brandon? Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, but I live up in Louisville, Kentucky right now.
Nice. Southern man. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you were the one that had an addiction issue, correct?
Oh yeah, I could take up your whole show with that, Tony.
Give us a quick backstory, if you want.
Yeah, sure. I mean, just to break it down in a few minutes, my addiction was opiates.
Okay.
I had a real bad. The first painkiller I ever took when I was 15 years old. That's all it took for me. And some people say that. And addicts, I mean, this could be debated by many people, but they say your brain's wired different, and I guess in a sense that's right, because for a normal person, they can take pain medicine as prescribed, and then just quit taking it once they don't need it. That's not the case with me. Once I started, that was it, and I've done everything under the sun. And fast forward. Here recently, heroin was my big thing that brought me down, and
Did you shoot it? Did you?
Yeah, that was my
yeah.
question. Were you smoking it or shooting it?
I was shooting it. Yeah. I mean, to me, if you're going to do it, I mean, but yeah.
Was that a progression for you? In other words, opiates?
Yeah, I started
doing I think Percocet. Then what's the other one? The blue ones. What's the big thing that's now? What is it called? Oxycontin.
Oxys. Yeah, that's what I just started with, like a Lord tab, basically, like a hydrocodone. Started doing the oxy. See, I'm 35 now, or 36.
Geez, you look so young, dude.
Yeah, I just turned 36.
You look.
Heroin keep people young, bro. Don't sleep on it. It's true.
Yeah.
You know that's true, right, Brandon?
What's that, buddy?
I said I was in, like I said, I went through this too, and heroin addicts would always say heroin keeps you young. Like it was 20 years of heroin use was equal to like 2 years of cocaine use, like in terms of effects on the body and the brain.
I guess so, man. But yeah, I mean, I maintained for a long period of time as an addict, though. You know, I always held a job, but like heroin is what really did me in, and I was mixing heroin with meth. You know, I was mixing it all together in the spoon, cooking it up, shooting it that way. And I got a bright idea in my head one day, and also mixing a lot of Xanax with it too. You know, so don't ask me how I functioned on the stuff I did take, but I did. And
Man, thank God you're alive.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I was getting ready to get to. I held up a liquor store in the area I live in. Actually, this guy I used to go to, and he'd cash my paychecks once a week for me. And I went into his liquor store one night. I held it up, and you know, he had the drop on me. I was just loaded. I didn't know what I was doing. I guess it maybe inside it was like a cry for help that something did happen where I'd go to jail or prison or something. And he I don't think he meant to. I've never talked to the guy since this happened, but as I was backing out the door, he actually shot me in my chest. So
Jeez.
yeah. And I made it to this car where a group of people was waiting for me. And by then, you know, the bullet, I had my hand up, so it went through my thumb. It blew my thumb off and went into my chest. I made it out the door to the car, and I just remembered saying, "Get me to the hospital," but I couldn't really speak because my lungs were filling up with blood. And
Wow.
the pieces of shit that I called friends at the time, I passed out after that. I guess they drove me down the road and ditched me in a dark, empty parking lot at some restaurant, and somebody found me and called the police, and you know, they kept me alive on the way to the hospital. They took me in for immediate surgery and opened my chest up, and both my lungs were punctured. The bullet that hit me was a 40 caliber hollow point from a Smith & Wesson.
Damn, that's a big bullet.
And I mean, this guy was probably 4 feet away, so point blank range, you know.
Damn, dude. God loves you.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
and
You're meant to be alive.
I'm glad you're here, man.
I'm gonna ask you the question: was that the wake up call? Was that it?
nope. I'd like to say so, but it
Okay,
wasn't, Tony.
I was gonna say that doesn't necessarily mean that's gonna be the wake up call.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could show you. I'll give you. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. That's. Y'all give me 1 second.
Damn, son.
There you go.
They gave you the zipper.
Man, yeah. I was looking after you, buddy.
Wow.
You zip that up every day?
Is that what you said? The zipper? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a zipper, bro.
Yeah. Give me the old zipper, man. It was like 60 stitches.
Jeez, man.
At least.
Yeah.
What church you pastoring now?
Pastor?
Right? Or at least prison ministry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do need to get into a church. For me, it's my own, you know, spirituality. Like, you know, that's just how it is for me. You know, I'm close with God, but you know, I'd like to raise my son in a church, and I do need to do a better job at that. But
You're doing good,
Church starts
Brandon.
at home. Church starts at home, man. It
Yeah,
starts
that's
at
right.
home,
yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Great story.
Wow.
Appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
that is a Saturday night. Get it off your chest, man.
I was gonna say that. Literally, get it off your chest.
Legit.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that is so. Tell me your wake up call. I gotta know.
Well, after I was in the hospital, and of course the police came, and
Of course.
they allowed me. I only stayed with my injury. I only stayed 9 days in jail, and then I was released. So they take me to Louisville Metro Department of Corrections. I'm in there with people with, staph infection. I mean, you name it. So I was constantly, the doctor pulled me aside. Look, the best advice I can give you, stay in that shower, just soap. So, I kept it clean. I never got infection or anything, but yeah, I did 9 months in the county jail. My public defender told me, he said, I fought this. I was looking at 10 to 20 years at first for robbery, first degree. I got it pled down to a second degree robbery, and we went back and see how I don't know how it is everywhere else, but up here, when you go to court, they offer you an amount of years, and if you say no and refuse it, so the judge will push you back like 2.5 months till your next court date. So you got to go back and sit in county jail another 2 to 3, months before you're seen again. So I finally got tired. We got it down to like 7 years, and I said, just do the best you can. My attorney got me 6 years. I signed for my sentence. The judge I seen, a circuit court judge, he was real big on helping drug addicts and people that wanted help. So he probated my time. Yeah.
Wow. You looked out for you, buddy.
He probated my
sure
time.
Sure did, man.
I mean, even though it was my first felony offense, the nature of the crime, the prosecutor demanded that I be sent to prison time, and I was always already prepared for that. But the judge, he said, I'm going to release you to a 6-month inpatient rehab facility. That's where I met my son's mother. She got pregnant in there.
You got her pregnant in the program?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Damn. You took your treatment seriously.
Yeah, I guess. Well, you got to think, I've been, that was my first time sober in years. So naturally, I would have fucked anything that walked at that point. That was my first time sober.
What's funny? That goes back to what I was saying. Right? I mean,
I think we got a little might be Drew. We got a little loop going.
That was my first time sober.
What's funny?
Got a little feedback there. You know what, Brandon? I say that, funny because from 14 to 17, I was basically placed in a group home by the state. I was mandated to a treatment facility called Daytop. Back in the day in New York, that was a treatment program called Daytop. I spent a little time in the county jail, and the judge, had mercy on me. He's like, "Look, you're a young guy. You need to make decisions in your life. I'm going to offer you a program. If you take this program, this is going to show me that you're serious about becoming a man. And if you do this, then you'll show me that you want to become a man." So I ended up copping out to a program, and I did 18 months residential in a program. And then, another year, whatever it was, 2 years, outpatient capacity as a young man. So I'm very familiar with, treatment programs, and, how that works and treatment plans and so on and so forth. So I was fortunate I got to do it at a really young age, and I wouldn't trade that time for nothing, even though it was very hard time for a young kid. Some people obviously go through a lot harder time than that. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing, man. That really helped me be who I am today.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. I went to that rehab center. It was 6 months long. I had 5 months, 2 weeks in. They found out she was pregnant. They kicked us both out. I was 2 weeks shy of graduating. My PO said, "Look, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. You had 2 weeks left. In my book, you completed it." So, once me and her hit the street and we were back home, once they kicked us out of that rehab, she lived about 4 hours away from where my parents were staying at the time. I moved back in with them. And I was going back and forth and seeing her on the weekends, you know, off work Saturday and Sunday. And she just, basically in a nutshell, she just gave in immediately. She was shooting heroin while she was pregnant with my son, drinking Red Bull, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And her mother found out about this and called her probation officer on her and got her violated. So, and she beat me to it because I was getting ready to do it myself, you know.
Where is she now?
She's back home now, but this was like my son's 4. So, you know, after we got out of rehab and she got violated, sent back to prison in Fort Worth, Texas, because she was on federal probation when I met her. She had my son in federal prison in Fort Worth, Texas.
Were you there?
No, I was in a SAP program, a substance abuse program. Yep, and that's what I was getting ready to say. With I wouldn't trade that time for anything because that taught me to act like a man, you know, basically. Because from 15, I was just numb. You know, they say you stay in like limbo. Your brain stops developing when you're actively using, and that's kind of how, you know, one day I just woke up and I'm like, you know, this is what life really feels like. It was just weird, you know.
Hey Brandon, I'd like to ask you a personal question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. What was your relationship with your dad growing up?
My dad, he was in the Navy when I was born in Florida. I was actually born on his Navy base. And once he did his 4 years in the Navy, we moved back here to Kentucky where he was born. He has family up here. And he got a job pouring concrete, doing concrete work. I hardly ever seen him during the week. Yeah, he was drinking. He'd get off work and go drinking in the bars with his buddies and whoring around. And yeah, he was heavy into drinking. So
did your mom leave him? Your mom left him? No.
She had 3 kids. We lived in a rundown trailer park. I mean, we were broke. You know, we went to school. There was a local elementary school. She used to take us every day to get free lunch. That's how we ate. He sent money back because he would work out of town. So he sent money for the bills, keep the lights on and stuff. But yeah, mom held it down for a long time, man, raising me, my brother and sister.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Where's your child? Are you with your son?
Yeah, I was gonna say when it's hard for it's easy for people to get confused with my story because there's so much like getting out, going back to jail, between me and her. But yeah, once I got out of the SAP program, you know, I got my shit together and knew that I had a son waiting for me, and he was actually born about a month before I was released from that SAP program. My parents brought him to see me down there to visit, and he was in the NICU unit for 17 days, I think, because he was withdrawn from methadone that they had put her on in the hospital for heroin. Yeah, they put her on methadone the whole time she was pregnant with him, because if she would have went through heroin withdrawal cold turkey, they said it could have killed my son. So they really didn't, you know, have a choice. They wanted to make sure their asses were covered in the jail, the prison she was in. But yeah, I just been something about that boy, man. That's my first child. Just him looking at me, you know, like knowing I'm responsible for another human being.
For sure, man. It gives you purpose.
Sure.
It gave you purpose, and that's the interesting thing about men. And you know, we get into this talk about accountability, how we started talking about we need goals, we need purpose, those of us who are men. And that was, I believe, Brandon gave you that drive. You know, I have a son now.
Absolutely.
And what am I going to be to him? The example I'm going to be, the person that I'm going to be in his life, the influence. You know, so God bless you, man. God bless you. Good that you're, clean and sober and keep on that track. your story is powerful, you know, and I'm glad that you're here. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that's what see, I mean I had relapses even after he was born, and that's what I was going to tell you guys. October 2nd, 2017, that's the last day I did in jail, and that's the last time I used. Because
you used while you were in jail?
No, I didn't use while I was in jail. I got arrested over something else due to drug use. So I did. It was only like 2 or 3 days in jail, something like that. My last time, and a little petty misdemeanor possession charge up here in Kentucky. So they'll shoot you out pretty quick over something like that. But yeah,
I gotta say, man, this is remarkable, and I can tell you that every guy in this panel is proud of you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Tony.
It takes a lot of balls to come on and talk about it.
For sure.
A lot of credit.
I used to keep quiet a lot, like in the meetings and stuff. I wouldn't share, but you know, a guy that I talked to was a sponsor. He told me that, man, out of 100 people in a room, if you can touch one person and it could help them, your story, then it's worth it. You know, so don't ever hold back.
That is exactly it. I think I mentioned it on Thursday, but that's exactly it. Like myself, right? I'm a teacher. I teach people from teenagers to adults, and that's the exact perspective that I take when I meet people. You know, we can't change the world, but if you could change the world for someone, if you can touch someone and change the world for someone, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. If you could help show perspective and share part of your story and give someone something to think about and to learn from, that's wonderful. So Brandon, you know, I mean, you theoretically shouldn't be here. So the fact that you're here sharing your story, you know, I mean, think about it. You got shot in the chest, you know, through your thumb, and you know, you relapsed. Okay, that comes with addiction. All right, good. But tomorrow is another chance. Every new day is a new day, and we got to take this one day at a time. And the fact that you've shared and you have this testimony that you can share with others is a big thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, kudos to you, bro. That's a great job, man.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's an incredible story, man. And you know, again, the get it off your chest, Bill. You know, you got a 40 caliber off your chest.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, really.
Who could say that? Who could say they walked away after getting a 40 caliber in the chest, man? That's stopping power. That's stopping power, you know? I mean, come on. That's not a 9mm. That's not a 22.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's I mean that's the way I looked at it too, but also I mean, there has to be something else, because it wasn't just, if I would have laid there where they ditched me at for another 5 or 10 minutes, I would have bled out and died. It's what God put in place that happened to save my life. You know, the police responded on the scene in 62 seconds. The ambulance was there in 74 seconds. When they got me to the hospital, the surgeon that did my surgery was the best, and he was supposed to be off that day. He was just coming in doing some rounds, and here they come wheeling me into the emergency room, and he just hopped right on it, you know. So it's everything that took place that night that, you know, I the first thing I do when I wake up, I hit my knees every morning.
Amen.
I want to welcome Drew. Drew, how you doing tonight?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing?
Good,
What's
man.
up, Drew?
Hey, Drew.
Awesome to have you here. Any comments on this story, man? Because I'm just sitting here kind of dumbfounded and trying to, again, not having an addictive personality, although I do have empathy for people that are in a situation like that. So what are your thoughts on Brandon's, besides Brandon, your comments earlier were just fine, by the way, just so you know.
Oh yeah, that's all I do. I'm a natural bullshitter now, Tony.
That is great. That is great.
I want to say one thing real quick. I just got to say this to Brandon. Last time with Galaxy and you left that comment, cherry pick these nuts. Dude, I lost it. I love
Yeah, dude, that was great. Best comment of the year.
Hey, like
He
you guys
deserves the
said,
beard
that-
the
that
nose
guy,
trimmer.
he held his ground, man. He held his ground. He did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just had to call it out, you know.
Well, let's
I
go.
don't think I laughed that hard.
I think I joined at the wrong time to try to follow that up. I don't have anything.
Can I ask a question, Tony? Can I ask a question for Brandon real quick?
Sure.
Brandon, you know, one of the things that has blown my mind is that the introduction of fentanyl into the system, the drug system. How does somebody who was a former user of heroin view that whole thing? Because at any time you could be getting a bag that is full of fentanyl that can kill you.
Absolutely.
You know, like what is your view on that?
See, and like you said, when I was using the fentanyl, it hadn't really hit the scene yet, and it's like playing Russian roulette. I guess the best way you could describe it, because the way people cut the shit up is, I mean, you could get somebody that doesn't know what they're doing and put too much of that shit in somebody's bag, and that's all it takes. It's just a tiny little bit extra, and that person's life's gone.
So let me say this. I have a friend. I grew up in New York City. You know, I don't know if you guys ever remember Tango and Cash in the 80s. Tango and Cash was a brand of heroin that was killing people. And basically the way that they would brand it is if the bag would kill people, then it was good heroin. And all the dope addicts would flood to that part of Brooklyn or Manhattan or wherever it was being sold to grab the Tango and Cash because that was good shit. Yeah. All right. I have a friend of mine who's NYPD, and he's like, yo, Frank, let me explain something to you. He goes, in regards to this, you know, the heroin cycle, he goes, let's just make it real simple math for you, Frank. For every 100 bags, the 99th bag will be laced with fentanyl. This way it kills people, and it has this stamp on it. This way that stamp gains notoriety, and people will say, oh, I need to have that stamp. He goes, it's just a marketing thing. And they'll add fentanyl in so that they can bring people in saying, yo, this is good dope. Have you ever viewed it in that same way as my friend who's a police officer has?
Yeah. I mean, when I was using, I wanted the best shit somebody had. But yeah, I mean, if I heard people had something that was killing somebody, my mentality was, well, they don't have a tolerance like me. So they obviously couldn't handle it. So I wouldn't be scared to try it if that's answering your question. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing the tolerance you can build to things, and like the stuff I was taking in one shot would kill 5 or 6 people nowadays. You know, so
how many bags a day were you shooting?
I shot about 3 grams total a day. So
how many bags is that? How many bundles is that?
I'm not sure. Bundle. How much is in a bundle? They didn't really have it pre-bagged. Like we just bought it by a gram, 2 grams, something. That's how they sold it up here.
Curious.
When I was buying it, I was getting an 8-ball, so that's 3.5 for 300. So
how much? So you were spending $300 a day on heroin?
I was spending close to 5 a day.
500 a day on heroin.
No, 500 a day on heroin. It's methamphetamine, but we called it ice up here, and Xanax. Yep.
That's a lot of money. Frank, you're thinking about how much Bitcoin that could be.
Oh, geez.
How many Ethereum can you fit in one bag?
You're reading my mind. So if you threw that in Bitcoin, could you imagine?
Yeah, I know.
It just blows my mind, though. I mean, first of all, let me say that I'm very proud of you that you're clean. You're on the right side of it, and your story is worth way more than $500 a day. And,
For sure.
what blows my mind is people that have had addictions and that have gone through the gutter of the hardcore drug addiction. Man, they are smart people. And I look at it and I always say, drugs were sent to them as a trap. It was something to catch them up because these are some of those brilliant people that we have in society. To think that you could earn $500 a day just to support your habit, plus eat, plus pay your rent and do everything else that you had to do shows me that you're a pretty innovative and resourceful person. So,
it makes me think of the My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell. That's right.
I mean, think of what he did. I mean, you listen to his story where he was I don't know if he was a heroin addict or what he was, crack addict, I guess, or whatever, and created this empire for himself.
Yeah.
I never, I grew up in New York City. I never knew, I knew a few dope addicts and crack addicts. I never knew them to be stupid people. I knew them to be pretty smart people that were caught up in the wrong things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Well, I was going to say, not the best example, but I also think of John McAfee. I'm not sure if I highly recommend everybody check out Jesse Lee Peterson's interview with John McAfee. It is the craziest thing that you'll see. But that guy, I think he says he drinks 2 liters of hard liquor a day or something like that.
Damn.
Like, it's insane.
Wow.
And he smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day or more.
He's in jail, right, Gonzo?
Is he in jail right now? Or
he's sitting in a prison in Spain. That's what his Twitter says, at least.
Yeah, he had that documentary, The Gringo or something, didn't he? John McAfee? Something like that.
Yeah, he was accused of, I think, murdering his wife. Yeah. And then, whatever, has lived a crazy life. He's been a Bitcoin guy for a while. And I think right now he's sitting in a Spanish jail awaiting extradition charges for tax evasion. But I like John McAfee, Yeah, what can I say? I like John McAfee.
Now, that is the McAfee that I'm thinking of, right? Is that the antivirus guy? Is that
Yeah. McAfee Associates.
McAfee,
he did that.
what I've always called it, McAfee.
Yeah, he's like 73 years old, bro. He's still crushing it. He looks good, too. He looks almost as good as man.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm kind of blown away so far, but you know what? I think this is a great segue into Gonzo News. I think let's do some Gonzo News.
Oh, man. Gonzo News is destroying tonight, guys.
We're 2 hours into it, so we're going to do some Gonzo News right now. You guys ready?
Gonzo News is
we're ready.
Let's go. Let's go.
Coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, Gonzo News.
There it is.
All right. Well, we're starting out tonight with the information that you wanted to know tonight, the information that you've been waiting for. This comes from thesun.co.uk. Orgasms work as well as drugs for curing migraines, says brain experts.
I agree.
I like their attitude. Yeah.
They're right on the money.
Well, they're following the science.
That's not like The Onion or Babylon Bee.
No.
That's some science I can get. That's science I can get behind.
Yeah. Actually get behind.
Yeah,
literally. We're going to follow that science. It says the bed gripping new research means having a headache is no longer an excuse for avoiding sex. In fact, it is even more reason to hit the sack, says Professor Amanda Ellison. Even a hug can reduce chances of an attack, she claims. So, there you go. I think we'll just leave it at that. But that's some pretty...
Gonzo, I love your intro there with Joe Biden. Does anybody here recognize Joe Biden as president?
I was going to say the same thing. I swear that looks like Joe Biden.
Seriously, though, does anybody recognize Joe Biden as president? Like, does anybody give a shit that he's president?
That is his original artwork. I made up that little intro with Gonzo's artwork. So that's an original by Gonzo.
Dude, Frank, you stole it, man, because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, that is my Twitter header. You guys know. That is my header on Twitter. Yep. That's it.
There's 7 people on this panel. I have a show of hands. Does anybody give a shit that Joe Biden is president, though? I mean, I really want to know.
Just one more puppet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like,
the
it's
face
totally
of the
fucking
movie.
irrelevant.
The
The potato in chief.
There you go.
Is he vegan? If he's a potato in chief, did that make him vegan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely a vegan.
If not
I know.
vegan, vegetarian. You know, I mean,
You know what concerns
You know, we
me?
we laugh, but it's the fall of the republic. Nobody gives a shit who the president is anymore.
No, totally.
It's crazy.
Totally.
This guy's not the president. Like, you got to be kidding me. Just saying.
It's big tech. That's what.
Hello,
that's
guys.
who's running the show. Hey, Raj
Hey,
is
Raj.
here. Hey, Raj.
Talking Raj tonight. Raj, how you doing?
Hey, Raj.
Hey, buddy.
I'm fine. I'm just here for walking. And actually, I was come before 1 hour ago, but you not added me in the group. So that's why I got back.
Well, you're added now. You are welcome to put your camera on. Don't be shy. Put your
Thank
camera
you
on.
so much. And I just want to say before I want to say anything, I just want to say a lot of love from India to you all.
Oh, a lot of
Love
from
to you, brother.
A lot of love
The
to you, man.
public of Florida, the public
Yeah.
of Brazil, the public of Texas. We love you all.
Show us your face, Raj. Show us your face, brother.
Raj, you are welcome to go ahead and put your camera on, buddy. You are welcome here. There you
There
go.
he is.
Yeah, Raj. Yes, brother.
Yeah.
Good man. Good man.
Oh, he turned
Oh,
it
we
off.
lost him.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm
So
free
what's
here.
up, y'all?
Actually, I turn off my camera because I'm on work right now, so that's why.
Okay, no
All right.
problem, man.
Well, Raj, you're in the segment where it's Gonzo News. So, Gonzo, let's continue.
All right, let's see here if we let's see what I've got here. Oh man. Artificial intelligence. All right, see if you can fill in the blank on this one. Artificial intelligence could let humans, you know, like are we gonna thinking something medical? You know, maybe we're gonna revolutionize banking. Maybe we're gonna revolutionize currency. Maybe we're
I'm
gonna
thinking about sex right now. Could let
Maybe we're gonna
humans
revolutionize sex.
Am I wrong?
Their gender.
Maybe we find out that robots are the cure for headaches too. No, artificial intelligence could let humans talk to animals.
Oh my god.
Of course, of course.
So
I'm going to recommend a great movie when it comes to AI. Ex Machina. Has anybody seen that movie?
That movie's crazy. Dude,
All
that
right.
movie's
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I'm
That
going to
movie's
recommend
wild,
that.
man.
My brother recommended that to me highly. When I watched it, I was blown away. It's
Dude.
I don't know if I want to call it a thriller. What do you call it, Mr. Finn?
Oh, it's suspense. I mean, it's full of suspense, you know, because towards halfway towards the end, you're starting to question, like, is it real? Is it not real?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, and we don't want to be a what is the word?
I don't want to give it
No
away.
spoilers. No spoilers.
You don't want to give a
Watch
spoiler
it.
away.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
but dude, the guy that was pulled into the program gets fucked royally. I'll leave
And,
it
wait,
at
and
that.
what's this called? What's this called again?
Ex
Hold up.
Machina.
Can you post the name of this movie in the comments, please?
Dude,
Ex
that
Machina.
movie. That movie's a trip, man. AI on full blown AI.
Does anybody
I
know?
I trust your judgment, Tony and Mr. Finn.
Yeah,
We'll check it
incredible.
out.
Yeah,
It's not a bad movie, man, but it gets you thinking, like, what the
Am I spelling it right? I think I'm spelling it right. I put it in the chat.
yeah.
Ex Machina.
Maybe
Yeah,
my-
that looks right.
Hey, that movie's something else, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That is if you guys want to see AI, watch Ex Machina. I'm saying it.
AI Unleashed.
Yeah.
Basically.
I think it's Machina. It could be Machina. I
It's
don't know.
Machina.
Yeah, that's the way I saw it here in
Ex
Brazil. They have a
Machina,
different
yeah.
title. They changed the titles in Brazil, but yeah, that movie, man.
Yeah.
Do
It's a good
I
movie.
have this
Machina.
right, guys? This is a 2014 film.
That's it.
We got.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't miss
I
that.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible film when it comes to AI. Just watch that. Is it really that old? Is it that old?
2015.
I don't know. Things change so fast nowadays.
It says a young programmer is selected to participate in a groundbreaking experiment in synthetic intelligence.
That's it.
Right.
That guy gets, dude, that
Underrated
guy,
movie.
man.
Underrated movie. Watch
I
it.
agree.
Okay,
I agree.
that's the next movie I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It will
Same
suck
here.
you in. So
Where can we find
Hey,
it? Is it on Netflix?
I saw it on Netflix, but that was a while ago, right?
I just watched it truthfully for about first time I saw it was about a month ago. And I watched it again because it was that good.
Where'd you see it, Tony? Netflix or?
It was on, I think it was just on my Showtime or HBO. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, mind-blowing AI film. It was one my brother
Yeah,
kept.
it's really good.
Have you've never seen that? I'm like, no. Now the dance scene. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh man, y'all gonna ruin it. Be careful now.
No, there's not much to ruin, but the dance was a highlight in the movie. Yeah.
I'll probably watch it tonight.
Hey, you know what else is you know what else is a really good movie if you haven't seen it? Future, thinking about future stuff. What Happened to Monday? Have you guys ever seen that movie?
No.
What Happened to Monday?
I never actually clicked on it.
Mm-hmm.
That movie is a trip, man. Okay. Think of future settings. Like, okay, we're talking about Ex Machina, right? AI. This is not necessarily do with AI, but think about think about China. Think about birth control. Think about one family per child. I'll give you the synopsis. This woman has 7 kids. Every kid is named day of the week, but they're septuplets. So they look the same. So What Happened to Monday? That movie, okay, Ex Machina and Monday. What Happened to Monday? Those movies will blow your mind.
I've been waiting for movie recommendations.
Yeah.
Those two, Ex
this.
Machina and What Happened to Monday. What Happened to Monday is a trip, man. It's a trip. I don't want to give too much away. Septuplets. So you got 7 kids, 7 girls the same age, and they're named the day of the week. So I'll leave it hanging in the air. What Happened to Monday?
My brother and I always throw back movies all the time.
So I haven't talked to him about that one because I don't talk to him that often. But tell George about What Happened to Monday. That movie is better. That Ex Machina is underrated. It's really good. It's okay. William Dafoe is in the movie, so it's good.
Okay.
William Dafoe's in the movie.
Yeah,
He's a great actor.
Another movie that's in my queue. I don't know if anybody has seen it yet, but is Green Room. My brother said it is.
Yeah, I watched that.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I haven't seen that one. I haven't
seen it. I've heard a good thing. I heard about it from George. So
isn't it Patrick Stewart is in that? I believe.
Can I find that one on Netflix?
I would imagine. Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Or Prime or something like that.
What are some good horror movies that have been put out lately?
Oh, lately?
Man.
None. Not
Not
most
many.
of them are trash. I watch all. Okay, actually, hang on. I have a good one for all of you, because this is one of those movies where I feel like everybody hated it, half of everybody who saw it hated it because they're like, oh, this would never happen. A man would never do this. But me and my wife watched it early last year. It's called The Lodge.
The Shack. Sounds like The Shack.
It's not it's definitely a horror film. What it's about, and this is no spoilers. This is about a man who he says he wants to separate with his wife, and she kills herself. So it's very dark. It's a very brutal film, but it's so then the father ends up hooking up with this new chick who is a survivor of a cult. And he decides that it would be a great family idea for him to take this woman and the kids, and they're going to go up to a lodge in the middle of the woods for like a vacation. And he ends up leaving them alone in the lodge for a while, and they begin to go a bit stir crazy. But it's a great movie. It was incredible. Disturbing. Very
Sounds
disturbing.
like it.
That's
Have
what I
y'all
like.
seen?
Disturbing.
Have y'all seen Black Butterfly?
No, I've heard about that though, man.
No,
Good
no,
I haven't
no, I
seen
never
that.
heard about that one.
Black Butterfly.
Black Butterfly with Banderas and
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas, yeah,
Yep.
great movie. Another one you can add.
Yeah. Trying to think. I know there's been other ones because we watched a bunch of bad ones.
Has anyone seen Black Butterfly? Yeah. Has anyone seen Midsummer? That movie was kind of twisted, but thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, I
Midsummer,
haven't seen it yet.
Very dark.
One movie I think was underrated, and I told my brother about this, and he's like, "That was killer." And has anybody seen Chronicle?
Mm-mm.
No, I haven't seen Chronicle, Tony.
Okay,
watch Chronicle. Great movie.
Guys, actually, you are talking about the movie, so I have a question for you all. What do you think about the Bollywood?
Bollywood, I don't think it's very popular outside of India, to be honest with you. I know of Bollywood, I know of it, but coming from America, living in Brazil, not much is known about it as far as I know.
I mean, Slumdog Millionaire, great movie.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that came from Bollywood though, to be honest.
DDLG, do you know DDLG?
What about Life of Pi?
Shah Rukh Khan's movie, that all.
No. No, there's also
sorry,
one of the
Raj.
movies I think is underrated. It's the movie from South Africa. It's the robot. What's the name of that?
You
guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. District 9.
District 9.
I think it is. District 9.
That's a good
Well,
one,
District
yeah.
9. Yeah. Too.
That movie's wild too, man. Where
Yeah.
the AI and Chappie. Chappie's also a good one. It reminds me of District 9.
Chappie. That's the one.
Chappie.
Chappie. If
Chappie.
you've never seen Chappie.
Dude, that one is like what is that movie? The number five. What is that? Short Circuit. That's like Short Circuit and Overdrive.
Love Short Circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like
Johnny
Short
Five.
Circuit,
Johnny Five.
Chappie. Yeah. So Chappie is like Short Circuit better.
Yeah. And Chappie, the actual actors is a band. The guy and the girl, they're in a band. Just so you know. So it's kind of one of those South Africa. Yeah. What's the guy's name that was in Chappie? Remember the guy, the kind of the blonde dude? Yeah. Yeah. Great movie, Chappie, for sure. Along the lines,
great movie.
It's kind of if you like District 9, you will like Chappie. It's the same. I think it's maybe the same producer, but it's the same kind of, we'll call it genre. South African kind of, it's not really horror, sci-fi, I guess you would call it. South African
It's a good movie.
sci-fi.
You got Hugh Jackman in that movie, right? Hugh Jackman's in that movie. He's the bad guy. He's the bad guy in that movie. You know, I mean, he's anti.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he's the one that he's the one that releases the droid. Like you think of RoboCop, right? You got RoboCop, and then you got that droid that goes out to kill RoboCop. So, and Hugh Jackman is the one in control of that killer droid. Nah, it's a good movie.
I mean, Chappie goes full gangster in that movie.
Totally.
Right?
South African full
Yeah,
gangster.
he's got the chains on. He's flaring. I mean, it's if you've never seen Chappie, watch Chappie. You actually
it's
feel
good
sorry
too
for him,
because
don't you?
you do because thinking about AI, right? We're talking about AI when we're talking about these movies, right? Ex Machina. Well, Chappie is like AI, right? Because the machine is built off of AI. So what is AI? AI learns by experience, like children do. So he is being, quote unquote, raised by the gang that he's in. So he picks up the lingo, the genre, the way the life is for South African gangsters. So when poopy hits the fan, as your brother would say, it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. I like it.
I actually, you know what? I forgot. I missed one. There was one other movie that I saw last year that I really enjoyed. Like I said, we watched a bunch of movies. Like my wife hasn't seen a whole lot of like the classic horror movies, so we went back and watched some stuff. Like we watched The Thing. We watched.
That's a great
Misery.
one.
Oh yeah.
Misery's a psychological fuck. Fucks with your head, man.
Yeah, those are the gold standard.
Yeah, that
is.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed. This is a pretty new movie. Actually, it's it's 2013. It's a movie called Coherence. And I think it was, I think it was kind of a smaller release film, but it's very good. It's like there's a bunch of people at this dinner party, and a meteor goes over their house, and the lights all go out, and all the party guests kind of begin to realize that something's going weird with time and space. So that's all I can really say about it, but it was really good. So
that reminds me of the other one where the kid gets the superpowers. That's another one. Have you seen that? Where they get the little kid.
Chronicle.
No, that's
right.
Chronicle is the one I was talking about earlier. But there's also
they're like four teens, right?
Chronicle is awesome.
Bullied, he gets...
Yeah, Chronicle is highly underrated movie. Big time.
I agree.
There's another one. I want to call it Red something.
Red Dawn.
No, where they have the little kid.
That's
where they find him. He came in a little meteor, and they plucked him out. He ended up being really bad. God, I wrote all these names down. I don't have them. It was a movie my brother told me about also, but it's I'll think of the name. I'm very picky on the movies that I'm going to spend 2 hours watching.
Of course. Of course. You're investing your time. Of course. Yeah.
So again, my brother and I, we go back and forth on movies that are like worth the time. So and a lot of these are more like some are independent films. Some are just really like sleepers, There's also a movie, Matthew McConaughey, Mud. Has anybody?
I love Mud. It's a good movie, Tony.
Movie. Highly underrated.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one either.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah. Fantastic movie. Mud is just, it's so good. One of the movies I actually saw in the past month, you ever get on like a movie kick? I've been on like a Matthew McConaughey kick, but Lincoln Lawyer, I've never saw that before. Really good movie. Great movie.
And he drives the old the 88 Lincoln around.
Yeah. It's a limo. Yeah, he's a lawyer. Yeah. What a great movie. So
actually, I've got one for Tony. I think you'd. I want to see just your reaction to this because I liked it. It's called Crawl from 2019, and it takes place in Florida, I believe. And there's like a massive flood that happens, and there's a bunch of I think alligators. And it's basically a bunch of alligators eating people because they've got water, flooding people's homes and filling up people's houses and stuff. And so it's this father and her daughter, and they're being they're in a bad situation, surrounded by alligators. And they're trying to get out of that. It was really good. I haven't
seen Human Centipede. Has anybody else seen that?
No,
never heard of it.
That one.
Drew saw it. What'd you think?
I think it deserves its own genre for sure.
Does it really? Okay. Because that's what my brother said you have to see, Human Centipede.
Yeah, I really can't say anything. You just I think I actually have it on DVD. I was
really?
So intrigued by
it.
Yeah. My wife just gave a flaming endorsement.
Yeah.
Watch it right now.
Hold on. I'm not sure. You could probably just watch a half hour, 45 minutes and get the gist of all of it and where it's going.
Okay. That's kind of up there with Sharknado, I think, right?
Oh yeah, another classic.
Yeah.
Sharknado. I watched his second part also.
What's that, Raj?
I said that I'm a huge fan also Hugh Jackman and Robert Downey Jr.
Hugh Jackman and Robbie Downer Jr. Which movie is that now?
I think Sherlock Holmes. That's kind.
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you say Sherlock Homeless?
and due to date Doolittle. But I got a
Hey,
big
Dirty
fan
Deeds.
when I saw his Iron Man movie.
Oh yeah, I love the Iron Man movie.
I love all the Marvels movies and Disney's.
Raj, have you ever seen The Exorcist?
Was the greatest Bollywood film Slumdog Millionaire? Was that it?
Greatest movie? No, never.
No.
Never.
All right. Well, that was a great segment so far with the movies. Let's go continue with Gonzo News.
We still in Gonzo News.
Yeah, we're still in Gonzo News. Actually, let's get back to this. So apparently we can talk to animals now or something. Let's talking to animals and the way Dr. Doolittle did might seem more. Comes from the Daily Star. Might seem more like appropriate subject matter for a family film. But Professor Michael Bronstein at Imperial College London says that artificial intelligence could provide the key to unlocking completely alien languages, such as the complex songs of whales.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I wonder if we're gonna have a situation like like Ender's Game. Have any of you guys read Ender's Game?
No, I haven't.
Has to do with space, right?
Yeah, it's about these children and they put them in a battle school.
Yeah. I remember there was a series or something they put on Netflix. I didn't really watch it, but I'm familiar with it somewhat.
The book is incredible.
We got somebody that wants to come on. Speeder. I don't
What's
see
up, Speed Racer?
I don't know if you have your camera on, but I'm going to bring you on real quick. Let me see here. It's a little late, but we're going to bring him on. It's officially after dark, just so you guys know. Actually, in 3 minutes. So, no, it's actually official. Speeder?
Oh, hello.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, Speeder.
Great. It's 5:30 a.m. in
Speeder.
Sweden.
Oh, nice.
Sweden, nice.
Nice.
Can you
What do you say there, Speed Racer?
Huh?
I got friends out there just Sweden.
I was going on YouTube and search for streamable and putting the live filter and see where I've come.
That's
Hey man, welcome.
You're here, Speeder. We're in a segment we call Gonzo News, and we just got done. How long you been listening?
Well, for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Nice.
Just got done talking about all sorts of movies. So right now we're kind of talking about AI, artificial intelligence.
I know a lot of that. Yeah, I know a lot about that.
Okay, good.
You want a movie about AI?
Yeah.
And,
Tell us.
Whoa. What is the name of it?
Ex Machina?
No, I'm gonna look after it. Basically about an AI virus, really. It spreads around and infects nuclear plants and missile systems and stuff all around.
Oh, are you talking an old movie? War Games?
No.
No?
It's not that old.
Okay.
Keep on talking. I will find it.
Well, I'll just give on the subject of AI. I'll give a shout out to if you want something really twisted. I don't think it was ever adapted to film. Actually, you know what? James Cameron got the idea for the Terminator based on
Great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terminator 2.
Like actually, he kind of what James Cameron did is he kind of took the ideas of like 3 different stories by Harlan Ellison, but one of them is called "I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream," and it's about an AI that literally takes over the planet and keeps 5 people alive to torture them. And it's it's quite a brutal story, but it's
wow.
It's deep.
Sounds like the human.
I know the movie
2
now.
more people.
Oh yeah.
The movie's name is Delete.
The lead.
Yeah,
Delete?
it says
Delete?
on IMDb. It says Delete. It's 3 hours, 2 episodes. It's a 5.6 out of 10. It says a reporter and a young hacker uncover an artificial intelligence which has come sentient. It has one goal: self-preservation. Humans are trying to destroy it, so it's it or them. Yeah, I watched it several years ago.
Never heard of
I'll
it.
link it here in the chat here.
Where'd you get the name Speeder?
Well, I've had it since I was 7 years old. You know, I was
I
playing
like that
Counter
name.
Strike. well, I give actions for my name. So I live up to my name.
Okay.
I'm not a drug addict. I'm just fast at doing stuff.
Okay.
Take it how you want.
No, I didn't mean to offend you. I was actually genuine. I like it. It's a cool name, man.
I didn't mean to.
No, that's all right, because Brandon gave a great story. If you check this stream back, Brandon is, well, I don't like saying somebody's in recovery, because I think you've recovered, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, Tony. I mean, people. I was an addict then. Now, you know, I'm just here, man. And like y'all said, I take it by the day, because that's
Day
at
at
the
a
end of the
time.
day,
That's right.
that's all anybody really has.
That's all we got.
Well, a CSGO player? Nah. I was playing Counter-Strike 1.6 and Counter-Strike Condition 0, like the old Counter-Strikes. I'm not a big fan of CSGO, actually. I get mad sometimes when I hear someone talk about CSGO and they don't know shit about the old ones. They don't know a lot of CS history. And I was like 3 years old when I got my first Steam account. I was playing with my dad and brothers on like the oldies.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, and that is kind of based.
How old are you, Speeder?
I am 18 years old.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay, the youngest one.
Well, Paul Galvin. Paul is your age. He's 19, so he's normally a panel guest on here. Paul, you're welcome to come on, of course.
Cool.
I haven't put a link in here. Tony513 says, having connection issues, y'all. Been an awesome stream. Anybody, go check out Tony513's channel. Check it out. He's got some great live streams, man. He plays some great music and just chats it up, man. It's a lot of fun. If you want to get in a good mood, go to Tony513. Yeah, check out some of his stuff for sure.
And subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to his channel. Check him out for sure. So,
if you need help with English, you know, I gotta throw that out there.
yeah. I'm
I
gonna
put out content to help you out with English.
I'm gonna put the link in the chat here, so anybody else wants to come on, you're welcome to come on. All right, let's continue on Gonzo News.
I've got a
Gonzo News.
This is going to get a little bit heavier here. So,
all right.
I like to call this one, how could this ever go wrong? In the Nevada desert, this is from AP News. In Nevada desert, a technology firm aims to be a government. In the Nevada desert, a cryptocurrency magnate hopes to turn dreams of a futuristic smart city into reality. To do that, he's asking the state to let companies like his form local governments on land they own, which would grant them power over everything from schools to law enforcement. So, anybody's thoughts on that? Just
sounds like what Silicon Valley's trying to do.
It's like right off the bat there.
Or has already done.
Right. Right.
Gonzo, that Pope story was fake, by the way.
Which one?
That would be from last week, right?
Which one? That's from several weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh wait, are you talking about the one about the Pope being arrested? Is that
Yeah.
the one? The one that I wasn't sure about.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one. That was like a citation needed. I just heard whispers of that. But yeah, thank you for following up on that. Let's see. Jeffrey Burns, CEO of Nevada-based Blockchains LLC, envisions a city where people not only purchase goods and services with digital currency, but also log their entire online footprint, financial statements, medical records, and personal data on blockchain. Blockchain is and we know about the blockchain. We don't have to get into that, but it's been adopted by some local governments for everything from document marriage licenses to facilitating elections. So yeah, there's going to be a place somewhere on this planet where people are willing to just start from scratch and say, we're not going to do things this way just because it's the way we've done it. So I don't know. So my question here is this, because on one hand, I agree with this. Like, I agree that you need to have these alternate systems. I know we talked about this a lot, talked about on this before. We need to have alternate systems in place. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about these companies being the government.
Yeah, because they're unelected.
Mm-hmm.
They represent us, but who chose them to represent us? I hear what you're saying.
Are you talking about like Musk with the streaming?
No, not Elon Musk. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google. Bill Gates. Vaccines. Speaking code, right? Yeah, the speaking code.
We call them jabs.
Speaking code, right? I don't want to get. We're 2.5 hours into this. Let's not get kicked off now.
Screens go black.
Right, but I mean, hey, Silicon Valley, man, they're in bed, right? I mean, come on, who's controlling everything here, really?
Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess. I'm wishing I'm in Sweden right now. That's for sure.
Why? Tell me.
Do you watch the world news in Sweden and just see the shit show we got going on?
well, like we see it, like people who don't care so much, like we see America right now as a TV show.
Right, basically,
like we're just waiting for the Civil War too.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting for it here also. Yeah. That's some great input from somebody from a different country, because that's what I think. I can't imagine what people from other countries think of the United States right now. Imagine.
Do you know the Scandinavian countries where he lives are hailed as like some of the best economic government systems in the world? I would like to hear his thoughts about what he thinks about that. What do you think about your government system in Sweden?
Well, apart from economics, I believe that we have either the most retarded government, or we have the most one of the most cruel government to its own people, who loves the foreigners and shit on their own people. That's basically how it is.
I'm seeing a common theme. Everybody hates the government. Amazing.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, and Speeder can add on this, because I have some friends who live in Sweden. They can actually come out in Brazil during wintertime to train beach volleyball, because I was really heavy into beach volleyball here. And the interesting thing is, right, everybody, specifically here in the West, right, they want to compare, not everybody, sorry, but those who want to compare the government out there to here, because, socialized medicine, socialized everything. But the thing is, you have to look at the number of people who are involved in it, right? The size of the country of Sweden in comparison to America or where I live in Brazil is a fraction. So like what people want to compare it to, because if I'm not mistaken, and Speeder, you can correct me on this, but the taxes there are very high. People live well, but you're taxed very highly, more than 50% or more of your income tax, because everything is socialized. Okay, that works, quote unquote, theoretically there, because you have more people who contribute to the system. Whereas in America, or where I live in Brazil, you have such a territory or a population that is so big that they want to compare themselves or ourselves to that system, but it will not work. Why? Because you do not have the ratio factor. You do not have enough people who will contribute or forced to contribute to the system to get the benefits from it. So whereas where people want to look at Sweden, okay, yeah, you have nice cars, you have nice homes, you guys live well, you have free healthcare, free education, great, because more than half of the population contributes, pays into the system, forcefully pays into the system due to taxes. Whereas in America and in Brazil, where I live, the population is too big and everybody wants, but not enough people who produce contributes. And I think that is a factor that people do not take in consideration.
The social service system is going on its knees.
It's huge. It's huge there in Sweden.
How many? What's the population of Sweden?
What is it? About 10.5 million or something? A little more than that.
But how many of those people? But how many of those people are legitimate? Like when I say legitimate, how many of those people actually contribute to the system?
Jeez.
A lot, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like you don't have quote unquote illegal immigrants there like we do.
Well, we have both legal and illegal immigrants who are being hidden by, like, they're being protected and hidden by freaking churches. I think that's horrendous. That's like, why they're doing that.
Speeder, what is your what country are your illegal immigrants coming from? What is the most popular country?
It's
Syria.
Afghanistan and Syria. Yeah.
Syria
and stuff.
Germany opened the doors. You see, you have the European Union, right?
They are doomed. They are doomed.
Yeah, so the European Union, right? You've opened up the doors throughout Europe, right? So it's not like it was like, I'm an old quote unquote old man, right? I'm in my 40s, so I remember 80s, 90s, right, where you had to show papers to go across borders. But nowadays you have the European Union, where it's much easier to go from country to country, like it is in the States. So Germany. Yeah, so Germany, I have to put the blame, I was gonna say the credit, but you have to put the blame on Germany, right? They open up the borders. Come on in. We'll take on the refugees. They come in, and you look at the situation in Europe. You look at Germany, look at France, you look at these places. These people
look at Italy.
Yeah, look at Italy. That's what I'm saying. Though.
Last time I was in Italy, it's no longer Italian. Believe me.
No, Sweden is no longer Sweden. We are being.
And that's a big problem because you think about it, right?
It's a population replacement.
It's a huge population replacement, right? Why? Because the European mindset, the American mindset, the first world mindset nowadays is quote unquote kind of very selfish, right? We don't want to marry, we don't have kids, we want to live for ourselves. But you are allowing. Exactly, extreme individualism. But you now are allowing people to immigrate to your country. You're accepting refugees who are very, very strongly grounded or based in their religious fractions or beliefs. Right? These Islamics, these people who are family based, and they're breeding kids, 7, 8, 9 kids.
Yeah, I know.
And so Europe is being outbred. They're being outbred.
Exactly, we're being outbred. That's the thing. So everything comes down to the birth, like how many children.
Of course. Of course, and of course, and Europeans don't want to, right? Because everyone wants to go to college, everyone wants to get a job, everyone wants to live for themselves. And I'm talking about those people who are born in this culture, European American culture, live for thyself, and you have lost this understanding of family based living.
Do you blame that on socialism? Like, come on in, we'll take care of you.
Well, I don't blame it to a specific ideology. I blame it. I basically see the people who promote this as traitors.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Angela Merkel, man. I mean, open up the doors. She opened up the doors to Germany. Come on in, and they go into Germany, and from Germany they spread across Europe. Just spread across Europe.
It's a big
Italy,
agenda.
France.
Hey,
it's a huge agenda.
Who's the Prime Minister of Sweden?
Stefan Löfven. That's the Prime Minister of Sweden.
It's a man or a woman?
It's a man, and
man,
they call
Stefan.
themselves the first so-called feminist government. It's so laughable. They hate women because they let in people who rape them.
Yeah, right, exactly. And people don't talk about it. And people don't talk about it because they don't want to be ostracized. They want to be. They don't want to be. They don't want to be labeled as haters. They don't want to be. It drives me crazy. Like, people are so afraid of speaking the truth and protecting what is yours for political correctness. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. They're committing suicide.
Yes, they are.
Basically.
And we could call it a genocide because we weren't asked. I mean, we didn't have a vote for. The only thing we had a vote for was on the EU question. But when the media, when I researched it was the media said the light things, well, maybe we will have another valuta, maybe everything will be better. They never told anything about that they have higher power than us, that they're
Well, you know what's funny,
lost.
Peter? Not only are you not being asked. I mean, you're a young guy, and I'm speaking from a person who was born and raised in America. I live in Brazil. You know, I don't claim to know everything. I try to pay attention to human nature. I pay attention to patterns. As a teacher, I interact with lots of people. But the way I see it, and the way I look at it, as they're in Europe, and I look at Europe as a whole because of the European Union now, and the flexibility within borders. But no, you haven't been asked. In fact, majority of the population, as far as Europeans, you guys have been conditioned. You guys have been, quote unquote, manipulated to look at yourselves, go. I mean, Christianity, religion, anything of values, of morals have been pushed aside, and you are accepting people who have a very strong foundation. Yeah, I mean, with the basis of humanism and protection. Okay. And as a Christian myself, I want to help people. You want to help those who are suffering, who are hurting, you are helping. But I'm living in Brazil. I'm an American, and I want assimilation. Okay, come in, but assimilate. Don't bring the garbage where you came from to where I'm at, you know. And the problem is, people are so afraid of being labeled as a xenophobe, or, you know, just being a hater, that they're accepting this. And the problem is, you have two different cultures that are living together. You have the European culture, and Sweden, French, German. You have this European culture that have been bred, have been indoctrinated to live for thyself, go for your career, don't worry about family. And then you're accepting people who come from a culture that's family based, very religious, and they believe in they have a strong value that they will not neglect to assimilate to a new value. And it goes back to what I was saying. You guys are being outbred, and people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it.
I heard something from a guy, YouTuber. I think he's in Norway, Bjorn Bo Hansen, and he was talking about how they want to. Yeah, you like him?
Well, yeah, he lives in the nature, lives close to nature.
Yeah, he's like an outdoorsman, right? He talked about how they want to eliminate Viking culture and Scandinavian, a lot of
They say
Scandinavian culture.
Yeah, 100%. The SAS, for example, our flight, there was a flight company called SAS, and they said that nothing is Scandinavian. What is truly Scandinavian? And
That's
and
horrible.
Yeah. They're like, how do you destroy a people? You cut its roots, right? So that's what they're doing right now.
That's it. You
You
cut
need
its
to say
roots.
you are nothing of speciality.
You know what's interesting?
I want to say something real quick. This guy's speeder is blowing me away. Every time I think this guy's 18 years old, the things he's saying, the things
I know.
he's
I can't
aware
believe
of.
it, man.
Yeah, 18 years old. That's crazy.
Very
You're brilliant,
intelligent.
Speeder. Yeah, very intelligent.
Thank you.
So, like y'all was saying,
Yeah. What's it? I had come up with a thought.
what is the SAS?
SAS is Scandinavian Airlines. What is it? SAS flight company. Yeah.
Well, Ivan just texted me, so there's a chance he might come on. So I think Ivan Throne, incredible guest right now.
Yeah, I would love to meet Ivan.
Mines will be blown.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, I don't want to cut you off, Tony, but that's the thing. I look at the West, right? When I look at the West, right? What's the West? The Americas, South America, North America, Europe. We are killing ourselves because of political correctness. We don't want to say what is what. We don't want to call a spade because we don't want to offend. And we're neglecting the responsibility of protecting what made us what we are, what made us great. We don't have, we can accept people. Like I said, speaking personally as a Christian, I will help those who need help, those who are hurting. Okay, but I'm not going to change my standards. I'm not going to change my frame to accommodate you. You need help? Okay, come on in. I will help you. But what the problem is, right? A lot of these people, a majority of these people, and I come from Southern California, right? So I speak a lot about this from experience about these, the Mexican, a Latin culture. They come in and instead of assimilating, they want us to kind of change for them. They want us to speak Spanish. They want us. I'm sorry, you came here. You left where you left that hellhole for a better place, and now you want to change this better place to where you left.
That's the
fact. It doesn't make sense. Exactly. Like I came to Brazil. Great. I'm an English teacher here in Brazil. I teach people English. Cool. But guess what? I learned Portuguese. I learned the language of the people here. Why? Because I live here. I quote unquote assimilated more or less. I'm still an American. There's still, we talked on Thursday, right? There's still some things about me that doesn't really jive here, but these are things that I can't change. It's part of my nature. But I don't go around expecting people to speak English. Like I go around, I speak English to people, but it's kind of like a marketing scheme. Like because I'm an English teacher and I'm a YouTuber, so I speak English to kind of awaken people to the fact, hey, I live in a capital city. It's a tourist attraction place. You guys need to speak English to kind of interact with people. Hey, come to my YouTube channel. Hey, come. I teach English. You want some classes? So I do it in a marketing aspect, but I've learned Portuguese. I've come here and I've learned the language of the place to interact with people because that's the way it's supposed to be. Yes. In Europe, right, where Speeder is, they're not doing it. They are changing their standards. They are changing their frame in accepting these people. And doing this, they're committing suicide. They're committing suicide.
You want to know something fun? Which is a comedy, is that our security police is actually going out for people who burn the Quran. I mean, the like that book of Islam. The security police are going out because there are riots when something like that happens. The Muslims are going wild when something offends them, and the police just comply because they don't want any riots. So they just try to imprison all the people who says something against anything which goes direct.
Well, as an American, I don't agree with burning text. You know, when you burn text, when you burn literature, you are trying to subvert or silence the opposition. The best way to silence or confront the opposition is with truth, is with argument.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't agree with burning the Quran,
No,
even if I don't agree with it. But if I don't agree with it, I have to come with better arguments. So the fact that they're arresting people for burning the Quran, I mean, come on. I mean, again, we as Americans, we believe in the freedom of speech. The freedom of speech means the freedom of expressing your opinion.
That is the whole point. I don't necessarily agree with it.
You should express exactly.
I couldn't care less about the book burning. It's just other.
Well, I don't like book burning. You shouldn't burn books. You should
have freedom of speech and stuff. That's the thing.
Peter, I'm going to agree with you 100%. Speeder, I am going to agree with you 100% there, buddy. 100%. Yeah. I do not give a shit about burning of anything, and it's no knock against you, Mr. Finn, but these guys are doing that because they are patriots to their country. They are patriots.
Yeah, they're trying to show that we have no freedom in that case, and now we don't have any meeting freedom left either. Which it's like a crime against our constitution, so to say, if we translate it into Sweden, because we have a law that says that we can gather wherever we want without permission from the government, and now it's only 8 people in the public can gather, like only 8 people. It's
that's wrong.
50, and then 8.
That's wrong.
Yeah, of course. But
hey,
if you go out and protest, you can't protest it either, because then it's a crime. Then you get arrested.
Hey, Speeder, what's the main religion in Sweden?
No, I wouldn't even call
what's
it
the
but the original one, yeah, of course, it was Christianity, and before that it was Asatru.
Do you I don't say do you practice a religion? Are you religious in any sense?
No, I'm more of the Asatru guy, Odin, or like
pagan.
Viking,
yeah.
Pagan.
Peter, let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with Jack Donovan?
I love him.
I've heard the name.
Okay, he's been on this stream before. Check out Jack Donovan. As soon as you said Odin, I'm like, he must know Jack Donovan.
Okay, and now I know.
In fact, love him, and myself as a Christian, love Jack Donovan. Great work.
Oh, interesting.
Name. I'm partial now to the Scandinavian countries. I found out I took the ancestry test. I have a ton of Scandinavian and English, also Italian as well.
There it is, the way of men.
That one. Hey,
this is a must read for men.
Yeah. 100%. I have a book I would recommend for everyone. It's written by a guy who calls himself the Golden One. He's famous. He has a YouTube channel called the Golden One. He has a book called Dauntless. So this Dauntless goes through all subjects very, very simply. It's like maximum of 3 pages on one, and the text isn't that small. So yeah. The name of the book is called Dauntless, and his name is Marcus Folin. I would recommend it.
I'm writing that down. Marcus Foley.
Marcus.
Yep.
Follin.
Follin. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, you check out Jack Donovan. He's got a new book coming too.
Yeah.
So.
I've already pre-ordered it. I'm waiting for it to come. Fire in the Dark.
Okay.
Hey, Speeder, what do you think of the show Vikings?
I have not seen it.
I'm watching Last Kingdom right now. That is really good.
Okay.
I haven't watched much. I've
Viking-
watched it in bits and pieces.
Dude, I watched Vikings, really good, but Last Kingdom.
The Last Kingdom.
Yeah, it's like Vikings, but the England point of view. Really good. Really, really good.
Interesting.
Do y'all have a lot of English ancestry in Sweden?
I don't really know.
Okay.
What do you mean
Probably
by,
more Scandinavian in England, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. I love Scandinavian Viking culture.
Yeah, it does.
It's
really
rich.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very rich.
Our
Very
original,
old.
that's our original culture, so to say.
And you know what's funny, right, man, and Steve, that's what breaks my heart. I mean, you got Europe. Europe is divided in all these different rich groups, cultures, and they're giving it up for
That
what?
is our real diversity. That's the real diversity.
For what? It is. No, it is. It really is. And they're giving it up. They're selling out. For what? For what? Globalism?
Yeah. Basically,
yeah.
Yes.
It breaks my
We're
heart.
only
Breaks my heart. Breaks my
starting.
heart. Yeah, it breaks my heart.
goes
Breaks my
back.
heart.
It goes back deep into the World War II and even back.
Oh, further than that.
Yeah, sure. If we're really gonna investigate it, it goes a lot back.
Yeah, it goes
Concerning
way
country.
back.
Yes.
Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart.
You're gonna get
You know?
shut down if we talk about more about that.
We gotta speak in code.
Yeah,
That's
Spell
all
it
right.
out.
That's all right. This
Spell
is
out
Bruno's.
letters.
This is Bruno's channel.
It's echoing.
He's not even here right now. Oh,
He's
there he is.
back.
I
He's
didn't
back.
say
He's
nothing.
back.
I didn't say nothing.
Everyone behaved.
We didn't
I
say
swear I
anything.
didn't say nothing.
Yeah, I don't get this mentality, with immigrating and wanting to leave I'll go ahead and say shithole, for a better place and not wanting to assimilate. These places obviously have, there's systems in place to be successful, like what we have here, where you can come in, follow the formula, be successful. Why bring? It's something I can't grasp is why you come in and want to bring along failed, whatever it is, cultural ideas or, whatever that is, versus come in, here's the system, follow this, work hard, be successful.
Yeah, because we are different people.
That's what escapes me about all this. I guess it doesn't matter whether it's the U.S., Sweden, it's happening everywhere. Why?
Yeah.
Why? I don't get that.
It goes deep into genetics, actually.
The only thing I think of, Drew, the only thing I can think of is pride, right? You're just very proudful and you don't want to do it. But I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, right? Because I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't understand, right? I come from America. Sorry, Speeder, but I consider America the best country in the world. It is literally the freest country in the world still, quote unquote. With all its problems that she has, it's still the best place. I've come to Brazil, which is, still a third world country. It's a wonderful place, but it is not America. I have not tried to force my values or the American way of life to the people I interact here because that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned Portuguese. I've learned the language of the country that I've lived in. I have assimilated, quote unquote. All right. I interact really well, but like I think I mentioned on the Thursday chat, there's still parts of me being American that does not jive as cultural speaking because of the way I am. But that's okay. I mean, people get it. They understand. They give me leeway. But still, you're right, Drew. What is with people who want to change their life? They want to leave the exactly. That's my point.
They come here. They vote, act, and behave as if the way in their own countries, but they left their countries for those very reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've seen in Texas as an example. I've seen flags, protests, whatever you want to call them. Make America Mexico again. I'm thinking, are you kidding me?
Again?
Hey, Speeder, how do Swedes see Americans? Like, be honest, how do they see Americans? Like true Swedes?
As a joke, first point I want to make is that I think right now America is a multiracial experiment, and the other point is why do these people do this stuff? They go to new countries and they don't assimilate, etc., etc. It all comes down to the story about the frog and the scorpion, right?
Okay.
It is beneficial for a scorpion to do the thing, but they do because it's in their natural habit.
Yeah. I know the story.
So Swedes see Americans as a joke.
Yeah. We see that you're crazy people like.
Well, how does your parents see America? Say go back 10, 20 years.
I have no idea. Never asked them, but I mean I have relatives in America, so.
A lot of countries feel like America is the only thing standing in between the way of complete tyranny.
It is. But it is.
Yeah. Complete tyranny.
I have a question, guys. So, and if I ask this question, this will probably be the most controversial question I have ever asked on this show.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Now I come to you as an imbecile on this subject. I am not educated on this.
Sure.
I've just been doing my own reading here and there, right?
Yeah.
But it's a very heated, very deep rabbit hole about immigration when it comes to Israel.
Yeah, right? I see already where you're going.
You see where this is going? Now,
yes.
Here's the thing. As somebody who knows very little about this, who has a rudimentary understanding of the history, I see, and here's the problem is hate, right? But the other issue we've got going on here is that, from what I understand, the argument is that, the Jews should have their own land, right? To be free from the oppression, from the extinctionism or what have you that has happened in the past, and so that's why they need their own land and their own place.
That's their story, yes.
Yeah, and to me it doesn't make sense. Like some people would say that America is a white man's country.
Yes.
And I would say, well, white men created it. Absolutely. I would say it was created by Christians as well. But, we're talking about integration here, right? Integration.
Yeah.
And so, my question, I guess, is, is this hypocrisy on some level? Is this wrong to say that, no matter who you are, like, this is my people, we need our own land?
Well, I know the rabbit hole you're going down way more than probably most people might even on this panel.
I'm kind of lost, to be honest.
I just don't know if it's a rabbit hole we want to go down.
Yeah, it's a very dark.
You're gonna get shut down. You're gonna
get shut down
by
the I could try to summarize this pretty quickly, right? As far as Israel, their land was their land from a long time, right? Bethlehem, the King of David. They got history there that people want to forget or not recognize. So, I mean, you can get out of the Hebrew ancient text. They have claim to that land for a millennium. As far as America, quote unquote, the way I see it, America is a melting pot. What is America? America is a land of immigrants. Okay, yes, it was founded by white men. Yes, we have a lot of history, the Trail of Tears. I have given classes on history and stuff. We have the Trail of Tears. We have treated indigenous people unkindly, but we've made up for that. We've given them land. They make millions and millions and billions of dollars on casinos and stuff on the lands we've given them back. Okay, fine. But still, America is a land of immigration, immigrants. Who can literally say that they're American? All are American. We could look back, each one of us, to an immigrant who's come to this land as America. And I say this land, and I'm not there right now currently, but still.
I'm going back to my roots. I'm going to Sweden with Speeder.
Yeah, exactly. So myself speaking,
right.
me, my brothers and I, my brothers and I, I miss my beard
Actually,
now.
I traced my name back to Norway. It's actually Norwegian.
Oh yeah. I can
Okay,
see your,
but see, that's the point I'm
phenotype.
making. That's the point I'm making. We're a land of immigrants. My brothers and I, we're first generation Americans. My mother immigrated with her parents from Portugal. My father is American. He was adopted. But anyways, we're a land of immigrants. Okay, great. But what is America? America is a set of ideas. It was an experiment. It was the first nation in history. If you look back at history, I love history. It's the first nation that was established by the people, not by a bloodline, not by a hierarchy or a patriarchy or a monarchy, right? So America is a land of immigrants. But so what does that mean? It's a land, we talked a little bit about this on Thursday, right? It's a land of a group of people who have agreed upon a certain standard. We have standards. We create, right? The first document of America was the Articles of Confederation. It was ratified into the Constitution. We have the Constitution with the Bill of Rights. Okay, we have an agreement. Okay, great. We accept people. I mean, I don't know if you guys know much about history, right? But John Adams, he had a lot of problems with the Alien Sedition Act. He had a lot of issues there because he was trying to shut down people coming in. He was getting upset because people were talking bad about him. Anyways, but the land that America represents, the people that it represents, is this land of freedom, opportunity. It doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, your education. Go ahead, Crony.
I totally get that, but I know where Gonzo is going, and I understand that. I mean, I don't know if anybody else is catching this rabbit hole where he was going.
I'm not. I'm missing it.
Well, here's the
Me
thing.
too.
Wait. Is Speeder still on? Okay. I
Well,
think
we're
he
talking about.
understands it.
We're just
But
talking. This is the alt right.
Yeah, we have to tread lightly here, and the reason I say that is because, oh man,
Are we talking biblical terms? Are we talking?
yeah,
biblical?
we're talking. I get where Gonzo's going. I think Speeder is on the same page. From the private chat, I saw what Speeder had said, and I get that for sure. But I don't know if we can go there tonight.
Yeah.
Gonzo, that is a
It's a tough
very
one. Yeah.
that's as tough as it gets. And the only reason I understand exactly what you're saying, and I'm going to say Speeder gets exactly what you're saying, but I don't know if anybody else on the panel does.
I got you, Tony.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I think if you have to say it, I think I get it. So
yeah,
I don't know where he's coming from. I'll have to get him to elaborate later.
Okay.
Hey, man, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you because
I want to know, but I have to get with him later on that, maybe.
Not to say anything, in too much detail here, but essentially what you just described, Mr. Fenn. So, just that whole thing about, America is a melting pot.
I can sum it up with one quote.
And so Israel, or I guess you could say, they basically want their own land, and they want it for a bloodline.
Yes.
And that's basically the moral dilemma. Some people say that we should apply that idea to America.
doesn't work.
Yeah, and I disagree with that. But I also think that it is kind of. I also don't think it's a good idea for them to do that either, because I do think we should have our own nations, obviously, right? I feel like, America should be America. America is not England. America is not, we could go down the list. So, yeah, it's basically just a question of it's the bloodline thing versus
we are
melting pot.
fighting a fight that's not our fight. That's a simple way to put it. Would you agree, Gonzo? I'm trying to skirt around your question without saying it. We are fighting a fight that's not our fight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. The thing with America,
nobody protects us. We're supposed to protect everybody.
Yeah, we're the point. We're the tip of the spear. We're the tip of the spear.
Yeah,
when it comes to freedom, democracy, we're the tip of the spear. That's why we take the brunt of the world's problems. We take the hits when shit happens, and that's why we're the first ones to defend, protect, liberate. We're the tip of the spear. So I get you, Tony. I get you, Gonzo. But when it comes,
the toughest part about being if you have libertarian tendencies too, right?
Yeah, it is.
America is the tip of the spear because as a libertarian, then you're conflicted because you know what I mean? You don't want.
Well, you know what's interesting, Drew? Exactly. In what you said is interesting because if you look at old documentaries about like World War II, the common American didn't want to get involved, right? Because we were isolated. We had the Pacific Ocean that separated us from Japan. We had the Atlantic Ocean that separated us from Europe. We don't have anything to get involved with. We were out of it. So you have a lot there's a lot of truth in what you said. That's exactly right.
Yeah, George Smith Patton said once, we defeated the wrong enemy.
Yeah, exactly. And like what Gonzo said, right? When you get to talk about these bloodlines, it doesn't work here. It doesn't work because we are a nation built on principles and statures, right? And you look back at the origins, at the very beginning, we had this division. You had the Whig Party and you had the Democratic Republican Party. The Whig Party was George Washington, John Adams. You had the Republican Democrat, Thomas Jefferson. So you already kind of had this concept here, but we're not established with these bloodlines, because if that were the case, then we should be a monarchy in a way, quote unquote, because that's what bloodlines deal with, right? You look at England, you look at the other countries. America is not that. America is quote unquote a land of laws, rules, standards, ruled by the people, for the people, of the people. And we've lost our way, in a way, talking about that,
You mean we're supposed to be a republic? Is really what?
Exactly. And I don't know how many times I've talked to people when they mention democracy. I was like, guys, democracy is a lie, pure democracy. Yeah, I think it's Benjamin Franklin. It's a democracy. A pure democracy is two wolves and one sheep debating on what's for dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
A pure democracy does not work. Tony got it right. We're a republic. A republic is you elect people to represent you, and that's what the House of Representatives. And people don't really understand how the government works, right? Presidency is 4 years, Senate is 6-year terms, and the House of Representatives are 2-year terms. Why 2 years? Because it needs to be refreshed. It needs to be refreshed because the House of Representatives represents the people. It's supposed to represent
a simple standard and a simple code and a simple, I guess you would call it an ideology, and we've twisted it, is what's happened.
Totally. Corruption, greed, pride, all of this has just corrupted
given power to people that shouldn't be in power.
I agree 100%. No, yeah, that's true.
Fathers predicted the career, 2-year term, but then the career politician kind of throws all that out the window.
Well, if you think about it, right? Out of the three branches, only one of them is for life. That's a judicial branch. Okay, so you take away the judicial branch, which is nominated by the executive branch, is appointed by the Senate, right? But they're for life. The other two, they're nominated. Okay, great. But out of these two that are nominated, only one of them has a limit. That's the executive branch. So man, I've had too much beer. But the congressional branch, they have no limit. So you got people there that have been there 20, 30, 40 years plus, and then they become professional politicians, and then they work for the system, and then they forget who they represent, and we get in this whole mess that we're in now, where we have a president that no one really cares for. He's signing executive orders like they're nothing, and he's been a career politician for 50 years. So I mean, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I again, when Gonzo, I know where he was going, and that is a very, very. I know Speeder is on point with what we're talking about, but I'm going to be honest. I don't think we can go there.
Yeah.
No,
Here's the problem, and I guess to kind of divert this onto another.
I would
subject-
absolutely love to go there.
I can tell you one thing, only one thing, one quote, is that to know who rules over you, simply find out who you aren't allowed to criticize. And
Right? Right? That's great. That's great.
Exactly.
Wait, say that again. I missed it.
Deeper. Do your own research there.
He said, man, you know who rules over you is the one you cannot criticize. That's great.
Oh,
I believe that comes from Voltaire. Yeah.
That's golden right there. That's golden right there.
But yeah, I mean, to divert it to something else, the problem is that if I like, say for example, right now, if I made a video on this subject, you know, I have no hate for anybody.
It doesn't matter.
You know,
it doesn't matter.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. I would be branded as being against this.
We already know.
Yeah,
we already know.
Speeder, are you familiar with Stefan Molyneux?
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I know it's been shut down, right?
Okay.
and I'm not saying I want to get involved either. I just want to make that clear. Like, I'm not saying like I want to like get involved.
Just so you know, Speeder, I'm going to be trying to get Stefan on here. I know him personally.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, oh, dude, Tony's a man. Tony knows everybody.
Dang.
Hey, Tony, hook me up, hey, Tony.
my dad's name is actually Tony.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Well, guys, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I can tell you that, man, this has been one of the best streams. Speeder, I am going to definitely welcome you to come back on again.
Speeder, it was great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm pleased.
This is fire, brother. This is really good stuff. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're getting a perspective from another place in the world that is so aligned with what we are about.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, really is. I mean, you couldn't have joined a better stream than tonight. And your input tonight was absolutely incredible. It's really was.
It's
you're 19 years old, 18? 18. Incredible insight and thought. I mean, for a young guy, I got to be honest, when I hear guys from different countries, it blows my mind because I've got, somebody like Gonzo is 22 years old, and I think he adds so much value. But I'm finding that people from other countries are just so much more intelligent and so much more in touch with reality than guys your age in our country. And that's the truth.
Yeah, probably.
You know why? You know why, Tony? Because they're not totally saturated by the bullshit that is propagated by mainstream media, entertainment, and everything else that is coming from the West.
Yeah. Well, guys, let's wrap it up here, and because I'm going to get something to eat because I'm hungry. And, it's been a
Mr.
great.
Tony, I want to say something.
Raj, go ahead, buddy. Raj, go ahead.
I want to say today's show was too awesome, too great, because I hear the people's stories. So I got I got some inspiration from them, and I love to come out here again and again and again.
Well, Raj, you are always welcome. That's for sure. This is your second time on the stream, and I appreciate you, man. Much love to India, brother, for sure. Much love to India and our Indian brothers and sisters. So, But I'm going to go around the panel real quick. Everybody can find me, of course, on this channel. Like, subscribe, share. Hit this, hit the like button on this video. Comment. Again, I'm doing a giveaway. Anybody in the lower 48, comment on the nose trimmer and ear trimmer, and you're going to get that and some other stuff. Lower 48, I'll send it to you. Find me on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Lifestyle Philosophies with Tony Bruno, Instagram and Twitter, T21Surfer. Gonzo?
Yeah, you can find my art and my shop and everything. That'll all be updated on midnight.author at Instagram. And you can also find me at Midnight Author on Gab. And just search up Gonzo School on YouTube, and that's all my videos and all the latest stuff there. So that'll do it.
Man, how can everybody find you?
Hey, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Raj and Speeder, new guest. Thank you all for being here. Y'all are always welcome. Brandon, amazing, bro. Keep it up.
Brandon.
I appreciate you
tonight, man. Great stories.
Yeah, good man. Good man.
That was show-stopping.
So you can find me on my name here on Instagram, Mantidote, like antidote, just like it's spelled on Instagram. And also you can check me out on YouTube at PRIMAL, Primal Man, just Primal Man. We do a Monday night man hour show, and we talk about all things for men and really anything. But welcome to check that out. And I'd love to have Speeder as a guest on there pretty soon.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Mr. Finn, how can everybody find you?
Hey guys, well, okay, so my name is Mr. Finn. Once again, I want to thank you for allowing me to be here. This is also my second time being on this panel, and it's a pleasure. I hope to be on more often. You can find me both on Instagram and YouTube as English with Mr. Finn. My online presence is to help people to better yourself at English and English speaking and communication. My focus is more international. So Speeder, Raj, if you want to improve your English, check out my channel. I post a tongue twister every week to help you with your articulation and pronunciation with English. But I try to help simplify the language. And those of you who are natives, I'm not going to call anybody out, but I have heard many mistakes as far as grammar speaking along with native speakers. My channel is to help those of you guys as well. So my objective is to make better communicators with the global language that we know today, that is English. So English, Mr. Finn, English with Mr. Finn on YouTube and Instagram. Find me there, DM me if you have any questions, doubts. I am open to help you guys out and to be a better communicator. And thank you again for having me.
Well, we appreciate you, man. Your input is awesome tonight. Speeder, if you want people to find you or you don't, how can people find you?
I don't really have any social media, to be honest, in the way that is public.
Okay.
So thank you for having me.
Well, good to have you, Speeder.
We appreciate you, man. Great input tonight, man. That was just, I was kind of sitting back and listening, and again, I appreciate all my young brothers, man, especially from around the world. Just kind of mind is blown tonight for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Raj, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say to Mr. Finn that I want to learn English from you.
Well,
Because
you know how to
I
find Mr. Finn. Make sure you send me your info, and I'll put it in the description of this video so everybody can find you.
Yeah, I love to join with you on Instagram or any social media accounts. But I want to learn English from you.
My objective is to help. I want to simplify the language. I think that too many people, too many teachers, quote unquote teachers, have complicated the language too much. My objective is to simplify it, is to help you and other native speakers of the language to make yourselves be able to communicate in a more effective and clear way. So go ahead and send me a DM and I'll be happy to talk to you.
Yeah,
And I will put your info. I will put your info in the description. When you send it to me, it'll be in this tomorrow, so everybody can find you. Because I want everybody on the channel to be accessible, and we'll have you in the description. So, all right, guys, we're gonna end it. Cheers. Much love, honor, and respect. No after party tonight, but we'll all keep in touch.
Hail.
See y'all.
Cheers, fellas.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Good night.